any fancy screens for it, so it's just going to be my starting screen until I get D20 up to, next week.
Ooh.
One second. Fraz, did we get it? Do we have a character sheet for Delphina? I should probably check that. Babes, answer me. You're not allowed to be tired.
I think so.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh no.
It's fine. You're just looking around right now. We're not fighting anything yet.
There are skill checks though.
I know, listen. We're coping.
Are we?
Skill checks aren't real, they can't hurt you.
They are.
At the very least, I guess until we get a character sheet, I guess just straight roll d20s, I guess.
Yep.
And no modifier.
Or I'll roll for you if you truly are dead to the world.
We'll just weekend at Bernie's, Thaz, it's fine.
Callio's fucking puppeting Delphina's corpse.
Can I see your lack of a screen, and I rush to my iPad.
I just have a screen that says starting. That's how we're doing it today.
I will have something for you in like 5 minutes.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be shit, that's the point.
It's 1 second. There we are. Alright, I have all my shit pulled up. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yep, I'm ready, whatever you are.
Okay.
I am also ready.
Where are my notes? By Talos. Alright, here they are.
You lost the notes you've been working on.
Literally.
Moving over to my notes document.
Alright. We begin our story in Nefaria, which is a world created and ruled by powerful gods that oversee its inhabitants. While still wild and unpredictable, this world prospered as its lords intended. That is, until a fateful night in the warm spring, a wail of anguish echoed through the land, and the city of Kyatos, the domain of Synthanos, plummeted into chaos. The white giant crashed into the earth with a thundering shudder, and his people fled down the glass streets toward the gates as something dark and terrible tore through their home. The god's body was quickly overtaken by the rotting black, and his eyes went blind, his body frozen in a deep dread. The angels that had protected the city above fell to the ground, and the corruption that was swallowing their god quickly overtook them, twisting their bodies into creatures unholy and vile. These beasts attacked anything in sight, furious and hungry. Kyatos fell that night, swallowed by darkness and fire. While the mages that dwelled in the city were able to settle their god and get things somewhat back under control, Synthanos was not the same. Still a host for this festering corruption, the white giant lay dormant, his mind no longer his own. His patron Saint Never has sought out brave adventurers in hopes of uncovering how this happened. However, every attempt so far has resulted either in his hires cutting contact and abandoning their mission, or ending up dead. So, that leaves us with you guys!
Wonderful.
Group of fucking idiots.
Hang on, let me open my window, it's so hot. 1 second.
We are the Reserve Corps.
I like the concept of, like, you guys, like, your character's not even, like, particularly doing anything, but, like, he finds you anyways. Yeah. I just think that's really funny. Anyways.
He's so desperate.
Oh, boy, you have no idea! You all enter the gates of the city, invite from Never in hand, and you start towards the large cathedral in the middle of, the town. The sky above is kind of a murky purple, and pale glowing clouds kind of slice through the sky. And instead of stone, the streets beneath you are made of glass mirror. Except kind of when you look down at your reflections, you only see a reflection of your soul. Percy, there's a tiny little purple fuzz of a soul that waves at you from your side. Delphina, a dark cloud of that kind of towers above the reflection of your soul, just kind of quietly follows behind you. As you all walk, you can kind of see parts of this mirror walkway have been, like, shattered and smashed in some places. And in general, the city does not look very good. If any of you have been here before, it's kind of a startling difference from what the city usually looks like. A large portion of the dark stone buildings have been smashed, or their charred remains kind of haunt against the skyline. And the market that once sat in the middle of the city square has been abandoned by its merchants and replaced with a few small camps belonging to beast hunters looking for work. The city has also heavily dwindled in numbers, and only a few merchants or civilians are kind of dwelling about. So I'm going to have Pike go first. Introduce your character.
I'm Pike. I'm a Water Genasi Twilight Cleric of Uli. I swim the seas around Isadon and retrieve the bodies of those lost at sea to bring them home to my goddess.
Micah, tell us about yourself.
I'm Micah Oranine. I am, at this point, a traveler that is mostly looking for work, either for a cause to die for, or simply something to put money in my pockets. Anything of import is, like, not to be shared with anyone.
Percy, tell us about yourself.
I am Perseus. I'm a traveling bard of sorts. Kind of just go from town to town, getting inspiration for my next ballad, and maybe picking up work here and there, because sometimes the artist's life doesn't get you a lot of money, so get work wherever I can. And I am currently stuck traveling with an obnoxious little pixie who eats my food.
Delphina, tell us about yourself.
I am Delphina. I am a half-elven woman, just looking to make my way in the world right now. Don't have a whole lot to offer many people, but I'll help out if I can. But I just looking to just help out.
We love a girl boss, a queen. And then last but not least, Wander, introduce yourself.
Wanderlust, but Wonder to basically everyone. I make maps. I run around and I look for things and I make maps of things. So, and I'm a paladin of Yuli also.
All right. So you all walk through the city in your own way, kind of coming in from whatever part of the city that you entered through. You pass ruined buildings and empty homes, and the skies above you are empty and dull. You find your way to the large Colosseum-styled cathedral at the back of the city, and the gates are not exactly as welcoming as they perhaps once were, as the doors are heavily guarded by mercenaries and city guards. You all seem to meet neatly at the back of the city just before Never's Cathedral, and you all kind of come facing one another or came up similar roads to meet kind of in the middle, right in front of this building. Now, you all kind of stand in front of a very unfriendly-looking guard, and he kind of glares at you and kind of looks down at this little band of rapscallions, and he goes, I expect you all have a reason to be here.
Micah strides forward and kind of brandishes his invite and is like, yes, my good sir, anyway. We are all essentially here on very important business. Extremely important. So do be a darling, and show us to where we're supposed to go, perhaps.
The guard very slowly takes your invite between two fingers and he reads it over. And
good?
Yeah. And I expect that to be what Micah sounds like. I love it.
Micah British moments.
Micah British moments. The guard reads your invite, Micah, to check the legitimacy. My God, and all of your invites have been handwritten in bright, sparkly purple ink, and signed by the patron saint of this city. And he kind of gestures to the other guards to kind of lower their weapons and kind of let you guys through. And you are shown into the building, which has definitely seen better days. You can see what looks like massive black, writhing tree roots kind of creeping down the stone walls. They kind of have bright purple flecks that seem to lift off them and kind of drift upwards slowly like dust. You're brought up a set of large winding stairs to the top of the building and led into a large room that at one point was rather luxurious and well-furnished kind of office, but now it lays in a pretty not great shape, and the same tendrils that you have seen in the halls have kind of taken hold in here as well. There isn't much to look at, but under the corruption kind of seeping around the room, you can see several large paintings of what looks like Never and a human man, all in various stages of that man's life. Never is at his desk, and he looks tired. He kind of perks up a little bit upon seeing all of you, but he's definitely seen kinder days. He kind of perks up and he stands and he goes, wonderful, you're all here. Wonderful. Let me, and he kind of stands, but as he does, you guys can see like really large black cracks kind of forming up his chest and kind of going around his shoulders, and they seem to almost smoke slightly. He kind of reaches out to shake all of your hands, and his really large hand, his hand is much larger than your guys' is, and it kind of engulfs you as he kind of takes all of your little paws in his.
Is the hand like big enough to like wrap around like the head? Like,
Oh,
we're talking about that big.
Oh, he's like 8 feet tall.
Oh,
never is a big boy. So
Micah
like,
tucks his hair behind his ear.
oh my God,
Already?
the man is fading quickly.
Yeah, he's got time.
Micah,
Any last requests?
Micah being like, I have your last meal right here, sir.
No. Micah British moment. So I'm your last meal right here, sir.
He's like, you can
Oh
snack
my
on.
God.
You can snack on these titties.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, Never's dying. He kind of greets all of you. He greets all of you, and he kind of gestures for all of you to kind of come into the room and kind of sit. There's some stools in front that probably aren't the most comfortable, but he kind of leans against his desk and he takes a deep sigh and he goes, I am going to be rather frank and upfront with all of you, and I hope you'll forgive me for that, but I am in a desperate sort, as you perhaps can see. I have sent others to investigate, and he kind of gestures around him in his general vicinity, this tragedy, and they, to put it bluntly, have all either abandoned their post or I've gotten their heads sent back to me in the post, believe it or not.
Was there a return address?
There was not. People tend to not give return addresses when assassinating others, believe it or not.
You still have the heads?
Never looks at you, Percy. And he's like, we don't. I had them looked at, and it seems like whoever did it took the time to not to leave any trace of, evidence of their being.
Of the beheading.
It wasn't great.
Sounds like it wasn't. You're clearly shaken up.
It's not exactly the beheading part that, well, it's very sad, but, it's a bit unsettling to me that someone is going so aggressively out of their way to prevent me from, seeking out what has happened here. But, someone is trying to hide this, and I intend to find out who, hopefully, with your help.
Do you have any idea of who?
I would be lying to you if I told you I had any sort of a clue. I don't know. I've never seen anything of this sort, you must understand. In all my years of existing, things like this just haven't happened.
You gotta say, it does look pretty unique, huh?
He, looks around at his, office that's, crumbling and, festering with corruption, and he's like, yeah, unique is quite the word I would use for it.
I'm trying to downplay it a little bit,
It's hard to downplay it.
Yeah, I kind of realized.
I'm dying. Anyway.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything.
It's fine. He kind of, sits there and kind of looks at all of you, and he goes, my god is running out of time, and my people are running out of hope. If you think it would help, I can take you to Synthanos and the source of where we believe this had all originated. My guards investigated the best they could, but I feel like we're missing something. We must be. I've checked myself, but I must admit I do not feel my best these days. And you can kind of see, as he's breathing, the cracks in his chest are kind of, almost pulsating with light kind of every time he breathes.
Does that, does that hurt?
I've gotten used to the feeling. You must see I'm a reflection of my lord's state of mind. I feel his agony, his delight, the love for his people. All gods speak and feel through their saints. We are of the same heart, as one would say, but ever since that day I've felt nothing. It's just a bitter, hollow silence that fills me with dread, and I don't have the words for it, but there's something very wrong.
That sounds like that sucks.
Never kind of looks at you guys and he's like, you all have such a way with words. Anyways. And
I try.
Yeah, we can we can go and
I'm going to go take you to my lord and
yeah, we can take a look,
I let
See
me
how
just-
the old man is doing.
Percy fucking
Michael shoots Percy a look and he's like
Foxglove, you can hear Foxglove rustle around in your bag and go nice fucking job, dickhead. Anyways,
He smacks the bag.
Ow! Never
did your back just talk?
Yeah, shit.
No, you're crazy.
I'm pretty sure that I heard something.
No,
like,
you
ow.
didn't.
Guess,
That was me. I said ow.
Guess
You hit your mouth and it moved.
I hit myself.
Your mouth. You hit yourself.
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, I did. You saw me hit my bag. But that also hit me.
Never's watching you two argue amongst yourselves, and he's like, "Oh my god."
You're
Anyway,
the most confusing person I've ever met.
Never gestures to take you all to a large elevator, trying to cope with the people he's hired.
Never's just we're doomed.
Never is in existential dread right now. He takes you guys into a large kind of elevator at the back of his room, and he presses a couple buttons, and you begin to descend all the way down. And as the elevator moves, you can kind of see the corruption continuing up the walls, and it seems to be getting worse the deeper you go down. It grates to a halt as you hit the last floor, and the door opens to a massive empty stone room, and in the middle lies a gigantic white creature about the size of a building. Synthanos lies before you all, festering with this darkness, mostly to the right side of his body. And he's silent and still, and his eyes kind of stare blindly ahead, and Never kind of slowly walks out to the elevator and stands before him, and he looks to all of you, and he goes, "This is where everything happened, so I will leave you all to perhaps take a look and see for yourselves if we've missed anything."
Micah shoots Never a thumbs up. It, leans over to Percy and is like, "Now, you didn't hear this from me, but that is quite possibly the most unsettling sight I have ever seen. I just felt the willies run down my spine."
Yeah, quite unsettling. This... Oh boy, he's massive.
Never,
Really puts into perspective the whole thing.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
These
never,
who are safe in here.
What?
These who are safe in here with him all corrupted like this.
Good question.
I've taken the liberty of sealing most of the city. This is he kind of reaches over to a patch of wall that's very clearly corrupted and taps it, and he goes, "You can safely interact with anything in this room. We've got it under control for now. I hope it doesn't get worse, but in the moment you may look around and touch things. Please don't make anything worse."
Oh, no, don't worry. I am very good at not escalating situations.
Never's eyes go a little bit wide and goes, "Somehow I don't exactly believe that, but I'll leave you."
Semantics! Anyway, why don't we go ahead and get this show on the road, yeah?
Yes. What exactly are we looking for?
Literally, you're looking for anything out of the ordinary. The main chamber is fairly empty. It's just kind of stone and maybe some furnishings that have been either kind of eaten by the corruption that's crawling down the walls or, destroyed. There are 2 rooms to the left and the right, but the one room to the right has been completely blocked by the corruption and you cannot go into it. The room to the left leads into what looks like is the remains of a classroom.
Micah goes to the classroom.
So
we'll follow, I guess.
What are the others doing?
Wonder is gonna go up to Synthanos and have a look at the corruption.
Pike will follow Wanda.
Delphina will hang out near the elevator, away from as much corruption as she can get. Just not fuck with it.
Queen girl boss, truly.
It's you guys can do the work. I'm gonna sit here.
You know what? Fat mood, honestly. I'll start with Pike and Wander. You guys walk up to Synthanos, and he is still breathing or making motions that look like breathing. But you can see to the right side of his body, there's just a festering blackness that kind of almost spider webs like cracked glass along his side. You can see what looks like kind of a large gaping wound that's glowing a soft purple near where it's deepest. And this seems to be, what you would consider kind of an origin spot for this.
Any ideas of well, the whole point is that no one really knows what this is, I guess, but
Who are you asking that to?
They could just be talking.
Good job, Wander.
Well, it doesn't look great.
It doesn't
Should
look
we try maybe they're gonna use a bit of like the healing magic, see if it does anything. We'll put like
Wander,
1 or 2 points of like healing into it.
Wander, you attempt this, and your magic is completely null and void. It doesn't even seem like Synthanos even felt anything you were trying to do. He just kind of lays still and just kind of stares blindly ahead at nothing.
Yeah, I figured, but it was worth a shot. Pike, any ideas?
Can I roll religion about it?
You could.
Yeah, okay, I have a +1 on that. Yeah, excellent.
Do you want help?
I
Since
rolled
we're...
a 4.
Oh, you rolled a 4?
Can Wonder roll as well?
Yeah, you can roll.
Can
Go
Wonder
ahead.
roll as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ugh. I got a 23.
Are you gonna touch him?
Well, probably shouldn't, but
I mean, nothing will nothing like nothing will like he's
never
been...
said it was safe, so
Yeah.
they would trust in that and like, yeah, so why not?
Okay. Well, Wander, you touch Synthanos, and you are kind of hit with this deep, seething sense of dread. You kind of space out for a second, and because of your close connection to Yuli, it kind of gives you almost like a little bit of an insight into how these gods kind of think and feel. And you are overcome with like this aggressive vision of like the temple around you crumbling, and you can kind of almost relive that moment where Synthanos was kind of struck by whatever this was, and it's kind of an all-consuming blackness that just kind of churns and churns around you until you cannot see anything but that darkness. You kind of step back, kind of like lifting your hand off of him, and he almost seems to kind of, despite apparently not being able to see anything, looks through you. This vision,
frown.
however, does not give you any insight as to what happened.
Yeah. Well, it's not good.
Are you okay, Wanda?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do anything else, or do we want to go over to Percy and Micah?
I can't believe this.
Prepare.
I can't believe this.
Kian makes a special guest star appearance. The crowd cheers. It's like when like a guest star appears on iCarly.
Bye, Talos.
I don't think if Pike had anything, but Wanda's good for now.
Pike, did you have anything else that you wanted to do?
Can Pike reach Synthanos' head?
Yes, Synthanos' head is laying on the ground, kind of between his large, feet.
Pike's gonna give
Wait, it's
Synthanos
feet.
His what?
Nothing, go ahead.
Pike's gonna give Synthanos a comforting pat on the head.
Aw.
Synthanos gives you a very, deep, kind of what you could probably interpret as him acknowledging you. But other than that, he stays completely still.
Aw.
And Pike says to him, gotta find a cure for this. What if... And he breaks off... They break off before they can finish the sentence, but there's unspoken thought of what if it happens to Yuli.
Oh.
Aw.
Alright.
Pike is frightened.
Oh. Alright, we're gonna go over to Micah and
The two assholes.
yeah, 2 dick bags. What are you guys doing?
Micah is rifling through any desks that are in this classroom and looking for like papers and such.
Essentially it's just kind of typical like academia shit. There's pens, papers.
He would like to pocket some of the pens.
He may pocket some of the pens. Mike is
Amazing.
is now in possession of several very glittery, sparkly gel pens.
He will not say how excited that makes him. However, just academia shit, or is it anything interesting?
Not in the desks.
Are there any like chalkboards?
There's some
whiteboards?
chalkboards. They have some runes. And it's like some like stuff like just like typical teaching things. However, they're in the classroom. As you kind of like turn and look around, you can see like overturned shelves, books kind of thrown around the ground, and you see a kind of like a large, what looks like might be like a utility closet.
Micah sees the utility closet and is like, "Oh boy, never thought I would do this again," and he strides and goes in it.
What? Oh, it's I see what you did there. Anyways, Micah, you go into this
Micah.
closet.
Percy follows him in. He's probably like looking around while he was rifling and getting glitter pens.
You go into this utility closet. Do you want to roll me an investigation?
I would love to roll you investigation.
Can Percy
let's-
roll investigation too?
Percy may also roll investigation.
Hell yeah.
Oh boy, and you know what? Micah has proficiency in this. So, let's see. That is a 17, my good chap.
A
Percy got
17.
eight.
A 17 and an 8?
Yeah.
That's amazing! Micah, roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh boy! I don't have proficiency in that. Okay.
Just Micah?
Yeah, just Micah.
Okay.
So that was a 6.
Wow, that's amazing. You all hear kind of a loud, rumbling noise as, Micah, because you are just so amazing, so incredible, so, well adapted at investigating things, you trigger the magic trap that has been set in this closet. The
shit.
ground beneath you absolutely fucking crumbles, and Percy, because you're dog shit at investigating apparently, you just barely miss, the giant hole that is now opened in the floor.
So
shit.
Micah, you are sent fucking tumbling.
even if he went into the utility closet?
There's like, you're like just barely like standing,
Okay.
like you just missed it.
Wait, Micah's falling?
Yeah, Micah's falling. He doesn't fall far
Can I-
though.
Okay.
You wanna do something?
Depending, how big is the fall?
It's not like a huge fall, but I mean like he falls like a room down, so it's probably not gonna feel great.
Ow. Perseus.
Hmm?
I appear to have injured my hip.
Not the first time he's ever said that, I'm sure.
The floor really came out from under you, huh?
Yes.
Percy.
In multiple different ways. Anyway, 1 second. And he is going to use one of his wild shape slot
Oh boy.
to turn into a funny little into a what's an annoying bird? Someone give me.
Hummingbird.
The one that steals fries.
Oh, a seagull?
He turns into a seagull and flies back up
Oh, no.
and lands beside Percy and comes out of the wild shape and kind of brushes himself off, and you see like a stray feather fly out of his hair. He's like, "Well, that was absolutely horrible."
You don't want to check what's in the new secret
Yeah,
room that you're
Percy
doing?
kind of like watches you fly back up and looks back down in the hole. And Percy's
Should have
just gonna
probably
like,
investigated
okay,
down there.
how
Hold up.
big
Here.
is the yeah? Percy's just gonna jump down.
Yeah,
He just
Oh,
looks
shit.
at Micah and then just jumps down.
Yeah.
Perseus, I was going to tie a rope.
Yep, he's jumping down.
My god. Roll me a dexterity saving throw for Percy.
Fuck, I'm not rolling great so far. That's a 12.
Percy, you don't exactly land on your big stupid face, but you land on your hands and knees pretty roughly. You hear a very loud snicker from the back of your skull as Foxglove is laughing at you.
Yeah.
Can Micah, like, tie a rope around, like, any, like, anchored point that he sees and, like, use it to get down to Percy so that they have a way to get back up?
Yeah, there's probably like something like bolted to the wall or something. It's a utility closet.
Wonderful. He does that and kind of sets down next to Percy and is like, are your hands, like, okay?
He looks at his hands that are probably a little scraped, but he's like, they're fine. They'll heal.
Alright.
Yeah. What's in the room?
Well, let's take a look. Investigation.
Boy oh boy. Roll me an investigation, fellas.
I have rolled an 18.
Go ahead, Percy.
What's my investigation? My investigation's dog shit. That's another 8.
Oh, it's another 8? Okay.
Yeah, it's an 8.
Using, both of you kind of walk into this room and you're kind of immediately hit with, like, the thick smell of sulfur. You kind of look around at the walls and they seem to be completely blackened, by soot. And in the middle of this room, you can see what appears to have been the remains of kind of a ritual-type circle.
Oh, dear.
A ritual-type circle.
Yeah, like, kind of like, it looks like it has, like, at one point it had, like, candles, maybe. It's pretty badly burned, so it's hard to tell exactly what it is, but...
Oh, yeah, because I was going to ask if, like, maybe, would Percy know what kind of ritual this shit is, or...
No.
Is it too just...
It's too kind of out there. However, the both of you do see there's a very large skeleton.
Oh, boy.
The charred remains of a very large skeleton in the middle of what looks like was the circle.
No,
like it was, like, burned or something?
Oh, yeah. This entire room has someone attempted to set this entire room on fire.
No, Perseus, I don't mean to alarm you, but it looks like there's some cult shit going on here.
He looks at Micah, and he looks down at the ritual and the skeleton, and he's like, you sure about that? I, don't know if we can make that assumption. Completely sarcastically, by the way. He's being
something fucked up happened here.
You don't say. He starts kind of poking.
You are an awful little man.
Thank you. Get that a lot. He's looking around more if there's, like, anything else that stands out.
There are Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
No, go.
Well, no, you're...
No, you gotta answer Jake's thing first.
Okay. Well, Jake, there are kind of some, like, what are the remains of, like, maybe tables, against the walls. There's, like, remains of tables against the walls. There's a large, like, kind of, like, what appears to be, like, what was, like, once a tunnel at the back of it, but this has been completely caved in, and you cannot access it. You'll have to further investigate whether or not the tables have things on them.
And is there any sign of corruption in this room, or is it just burned and sulfur?
Yeah, there's kind of corruption, kind of like leaking down the walls. The same, it's kind of on the floor. Never's magic does extend here, so it's still safe to poke around and touch, but this definitely seems to be like possibly a source of perhaps what has happened.
He will investigate the tables.
Go ahead. Roll me an investigation.
I'd like to help with that.
You may help with that. What are the other two doing? or the other three, perhaps, has Miss Delphine decided to grace us with her presence?
She is concerned and just hanging out right there at the front. Like, damn, that's wild.
Oh my god.
She heard the big bang from the utility closet. It's like, that sucks. Anyway.
How about Pike and Wander? Where are you guys right now?
Wanda might go poking around the rest of, like, the main room. See if there's anything, if Pike wants to come along or if they have different ideas.
Pike's gonna follow Wanda.
The main room really doesn't have anything left in it. It's mainly just Synthanos that's in here. He's kind of been shrunken down from his original size because he's absolutely massive typically and kind of just sits in this large coliseum, kind of keeping watch over his city, but never seems to have been able to kind of reduce him down. This seems to just be kind of a regular throne room, essentially just taken over by the corruption.
In which case they might just, like, sit down somewhere and, like, take notes on that vision they had in, like, a journal, write down what they saw.
Gotcha.
Maybe take notes on, like, the corruption and everything.
Gotcha. Alright, Jacob V, you and Micah rolled to look at the tables, right?
I, like, helped out, so that would give Jake advantage.
Hell
okay.
yeah.
Here, let me
Alright.
roll something else. Where's my other thing of dice? Where is it? There it is. First roll I got was a 15, and this one is a 10, so 15.
So you guys kind of, run around these tables. They've been pretty badly burned, like most of the things in this room. But you can see at one point, like, papers had been kind of plastered up along the walls. The tables kind of at once maybe looked like they had tools on them. They're pretty warped and melted at this point. Pretty useless to pick up. However, one of you does kind of find a piece of paper kind of amongst the ashes. And it's way too blackened by char to fully read it, but you can make out words that say Heaven's Bone, Heim of the Night Beast, and Fairy Blood. And this looks as though it was kind of a recipe or a spell of some kind.
Heim of the Beast.
Yeah, Heaven's Bone, Heim of the Beast, and Fairy Blood. So this kind of either looks like a list or some kind of recipe.
Micah kind of, like, peeks over Percy's shoulder at the list and is like, well, I can't say that I've ever used any sort of magical concoction that has all three of those as ingredients. Maybe one or two that they're typically, meant to be unachievable.
Would Percy know what these ingredients are or do?
Probably not. I mean, Percy would probably know that fairy's blood is often used in a lot of different kind of recipes. Just because, Foxglove probably loves to talk about how people like to harvest fairy parts.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything else seems...
Yeah, it's one of those, like, catch-all ingredients. Don't know specifically what it could be used for here.
Yeah, it's essentially, like, similar to, like, sugar and, like, dessert recipes. Like, everyone uses it. It's very easily accessible. Heaven's Bone and Heim of the Night Beast, you probably have no idea what those are.
Might want to pocket that just in case we'll need it to present it.
Yeah.
Hey, never might know what the other two are.
Possibly. He'll put it in his bag carefully to not... Oh, he won't open the bag too much. He'll just kind of stick it in there.
Right, you said there was a caved-in kind of section?
Yeah, there kind of looks like what was a tunnel that could probably fit, like, a very large person. It's pretty decently sized. It's completely caved in, though. Looks as though it was done intentionally.
Mike, is it kind of, like, dark dark-ish?
It's very dark in here. You can really kind of only
Micah,
see.
Percy cannot see.
Micah can see, but he is going to use his cantrip, produce flame, and like make a little tiny flame on top of his finger, and kind of look over and investigate the like cave-in and see if there's any like spots that he can see through. It is a 19 plus 4. Well, it's over 20, so.
Micah, those rocks are in fact made of rocks. There is not much. There's not much to this. This is literally just a thoroughly caved-in tunnel. It's way like the rocks are way too large, way too big for any of you to really kind of push aside or lift. Whoever did this definitely did not want this to be dug up in any capacity.
Michael looks over at Percy and is like, do you think we could get one of the guards or someone, a couple of people that are much stronger, probably would never help, I guess, to look into whatever the hell this leads to?
Probably we could, unless you can lift those rocks yourself.
Well, see, the thing is that I'd have to use wild shape again, and I would like to not do that. It gets kind of exhausting when I do it too much. And I don't feel like an ape would fit too well down here in this cramped space.
Would be quite the sight, though. Yes, let's go get the others. Is there any sign in the room of telling, like, when this ritual was done? Like, if this was, like... Or is it, like, it's impossible to tell if this was, like, recent or, like, before?
You can probably riddle it together that this happened around the time that Synthanos was corrupted.
Interesting.
Nothing is, like, warm. This place has been, at least, there was an attempt to hide it. Nobody probably thought to look in the closet, but...
Apparently not, because...
Yeah. You can probably piece together that this happened pretty much around the exact same time. You can check out the skeleton if you want.
Oh, Percy will go look at the skeleton. He'll start poking at it.
God, Ryan, what is wrong with all of you?
You're poking at the skeleton. Good
He's not
God,
he's
man,
just
that's someone's
looking.
bones.
It could have information.
How do
you want to
bones-
figure this out? You gotta
Yes,
get
I do, but obviously I'm asking, how do bones have information?
Well, we'll find out. What do I need to roll for this?
Just roll me another investigation. Maybe this will be your day.
Oh, I got good with that.
Go and
15.
check.
Ooh! That is a dirty 20.
Alright, so you kind of crouch down, and as you kind of inspect these bones, you can see a very, like, kind of like a shimmering effect kind of on them. You can tell that these are the bones of a saint. The skull seems to have been almost not caved in, but it was definitely like slammed in the head at some point. And as you kind of use your strange little barred hands to kind of turn it over, you can see a dagger underneath the rib cage of this creature.
What does the dagger look like? Is there anything significant about it?
There is, in fact. This dagger, it kind of has a black blade on it. The handle is also black, but it has very strange runes carved into the handle.
Does he recognize the runes?
Nope, none of you will.
Alright. He'll hold on to the knife in case they find someone who can read it. He kind of just stands up, looks at the bones, looks at Micah, and is like, somebody used a saint. This is a saint.
Oh shit. That's
Yeah.
concerning. What's that dagger thing you've got there?
Under the rib cage. Has runes on it. Cannot read them.
Oh boy.
So we're gonna hold on to this.
You think it might have been used against this thing, probably.
He looks at Micah, looks at the skeleton.
It could have belonged to them.
It's a summoning circle, and it was right under the rib cage. You know what? I think maybe they used it to maybe cut their hair with it. I totally believe that this was theirs.
Vitalis, the skeleton killed the dagger.
Micah looks very unimpressed, and it's like, well, they also have a head injury, so that's probably,
There are multiple ways you can kill someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna lecture me about that one?
I'm just saying, it doesn't have to just have been a head injury or stab wound. We don't have a lot of the body here to figure out exactly what killed it. Anyway. Saint dead ritual.
Ritual. Bad. Dagger.
Dagger.
And no corruption down here.
There's some corruption.
There is corruption. It might be
difficult.
difficult.
Corruption down here. Right. Well, I don't know what the other two have found, but unless you want to take another glance about, because I couldn't get through that passageway.
Yeah. I can wait down here while you go get the others.
You sure?
What's gonna happen down here? I'll be fine down here.
Alright.
We're heading back here anyway if we're trying to open the...
That's fair. I was just thinking, if anything does happen, like if, somebody comes up behind you and is like, you know too much and tries to get into it with you,
then you will get my head in a box.
Bit morbid, but we'll make sure that doesn't happen.
He gives you a smile at that and just... It's like, I'll wait here.
Alright. Be safe. And Micah goes to go find the other three.
When Micah, climbs up and is, out of view, he'll kind of just look into his bag where Foxglove is, and then, also grab the note, and he'll look at Foxglove, is like, know anything, Heaven's Bone, I'm of the Night Beast, know those ingredients?
Foxglove kind of taps a little bony finger against his mouth, and he goes, I mean, Heaven's Bone sounds familiar, but I didn't pay much attention in school. He shrugs at him and looks up at him, and then he goes, I don't know, I feel like I'm sure that someone in the city would be able to tell you shit like this. It's fucking... He gestures Magic City, so I mean... He kind of pokes his head out of the bag and looks at the bones in front of you. He's like, could probably take one of those if you wanted to. Who's gonna stop you?
He looks at Foxglove. He looks at the bones.
You've stolen worse before.
What's a really, really tiny bone that no one would notice is gone?
Finger bone.
Yeah, like a finger bone.
He'll take a little finger bone. He's like, happy?
I won't eat this. And he puts it in the bag.
You won't? Okay. He'll ask about the runes too, if he can read them. I doubt it, but he'll ask.
You show those to Foxglove, and Foxglove kind of takes the knife in his nasty little insect hands, and he goes, "Fucking beats me."
Alright.
I'm illiterate, so.
Are you looking at?
Mind your business.
He takes the knife back. Get back in the bag. He pushes Foxglove back in the bag.
Foxglove is just
and okay, there are candles in the room, right?
There were. They've been heavily melted down, and
okay.
Percy never is staring at you through the hole in the floor, very concerned.
Did he see me talking with Foxglove, or?
Never is probably too out of it to really have been able to tell, but he's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, just waiting here. We found some stuff down here. Gonna get someone to... Oh, there's a passage thing down here.
Did Micah bring Never over?
Probably, yeah. Or at very least, Micah coming out of there might have perked Never's interest.
Micah sticks his head over the hole and waves at Percy.
Waves back. Yeah, everything's good down here.
Never
Smile.
Never kind of hops down with you. Lands a lot more gracefully than you did, Percy. And he kind of wanders over and he looks around and he goes, I'm quite at loss for words. You found all of this today?
Yes, the other guy, Micah, he triggered a trap, and this is all down here. He kind of looks over at the saint bones, and he's like, are there any saints that have gone quiet or so?
To be quite honest, we don't, unless you refer to the leaders of the city, we don't exactly talk to each other much. He kind of, comes over and he looks at him and he kind of sits and, looks at the skull over and he goes, oh my goodness. Oh, this is terrible.
You know who he is? Or they are?
He kind of holds the skull and kind of looks around and he goes, perhaps Rivaria, one of Rivaria's saints, maybe. The horns look a bit, maybe. It's hard to tell. He kind of he hands it to Percy and he goes, I have somebody that maybe I can send you to get that looked at. Here. And he kind of, awkwardly hands you the skull and kind of, seems to kind of, look around. Never is not, in a great state of mind at the moment, but he looks a little distressed. And he kind of seems to take a second taking in everything that he's looking at.
You good there?
Not really. To be quite honest, this was not supposed to happen. None of this was supposed to. Things like this don't happen in my city, and yet, what else did you find? And he kind of looks at you, and you can kind of tell that when he stares into your eyes, Percy, he is definitely not all there.
Oh boy. He'll kind of go carefully, grab the ingredient thing. He's like, we found, well, for one, this room with this ritual and the saint body, and then a list of ingredients, of Heaven's Bone, Time of the Night Beast, and Fairy's Blood. Know what?
I found a bloody little dagger!
I had the dagger, but we're going one at a time. Found also a dagger with runes on it.
Never looks overwhelmed. He kind of sits there.
That's why he was going one at a time with the ingredients first.
Never kind of looks at all of this, and he looks to Percy, and then he looks to Micah, and he looks to Percy, and he looks to Micah, and he looks at the list, and he goes...
We can go one at a time.
He goes, I think that maybe I'll have my guards look over here, look over all of this and see what we can do. He points at the skull in your hand and he goes, keep that with you. I have something you can do with that.
Alright, he'll kind of put it in his bag. No question asked, he doesn't falter, he's like, alright.
I think what you should do is you should take you and your friends while we handle this, and he gestures around. Mm-hmm. Perhaps you could, that sounds like Heaven's Bone sounds, perhaps a forging material. I think the Forge Master might be able to tell you what that is. Time of the Night Beast sounds as though it were a book. That would be something you could perhaps find in the library, and perhaps one of the market dwellers would know something about fairy blood. There's a merchant or two still left in the city. I would imagine that perhaps they'd know something about that. Or he kind of looks around and never looks very nervous.
Is there a reason why Never's super nervous?
Never
overwhelmed?
Never is overwhelmed, and his god is extremely corrupted, so he's just kind of a reflection of that. There's nothing nefarious going on with him.
Well, not nefarious, it's just like in case there's like something he's noticing, I guess. That.
His god is corrupted, and Percy, like, wow, I wonder why he's overwhelmed.
No, not that. Just like if there was like something in the room that he like maybe like wasn't saying.
Oh no, he's just very distraught about this. Were you gonna say something, Nat?
Hello?
Hello. There you are.
Oh, I can't hear anyone.
Uh-oh.
Hang on.
Vitalos, we lost Pike.
Vitalos.
Hello?
Hello?
Natford.
Nat.
Nathaniel.
I'm back.
Hello?
Nat.
Hello.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
My thingy made a sound and then I couldn't hear anyone.
Uh-oh.
Vitalos.
The corruption spread.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Did you have anything that
Not
you
Pike.
were? Oh god. Vitalos, not Pike.
Not Pike!
Not Pike.
Not Pike!
Were you saying anything campaign related before we lost you to the darkness, or?
I was not, I was just dying.
Oh, okay. Alright, that's fair. Alright, so...
I was naming you my soul heir.
Oh, hell yeah. I get all the shiny rocks.
You tried to eat your other shiny rocks. Are you sure that's a good idea?
What? What are you, my mom? That's what I thought. Anyways. So...
I'm fucking your mom.
No, you're not. You're fucking Jake's mom.
Your voice shook so much fucking when you said that.
Son,
You're fucking
we've been
Jake's
wanting to
mom.
talk to you about
You're
this
not
for a
fucking
long
my
time.
mom. You're fucking Jake's mom. Stop it.
Why
I can
would
do
we
both.
this?
I can fuck both. We have an open relationship.
Oh my god. A relationship.
Anyway, back to D&D.
Anyway, Never is instructing you guys to go and either go to the market, the forge, the library, or the market.
Well, I guess
Micah is
before
still
we
out
do
of...
any-
Oh, go ahead, Jake.
I was going to suggest before we do anything, we meet up with the other three.
Yeah.
I kind of assumed that Micah kind of dragged them over there when he dragged Wander over.
If not, we can always just climb out of the hole and go find the
Yeah.
others. We can do that.
Climbing out of the hole would probably be better, because I think Never's
Yeah.
down there having his moment.
Yeah, Percy will start climbing out the hole.
Micah's been
Never
out of the hole
mind.
this whole time.
He'll go back into the main room with everyone. He'll is Wander still writing in their book?
Depends how long you lot took. Either way, they're probably just sitting by Synthonus.
Probably walk over where the other three are. It's like, found anything useful in here?
Useful? No. Something. Yes.
Something?
I don't know how to classify visions of the end,
Oh,
but
visions.
Hey, that's
Visions
something,
of the
yeah.
end. Divine prophecy.
that sounded way worse than it was. Although it's still pretty bad. No, just
What did you see?
what Synthonus saw before
Oh.
the corruption.
You saw-
So, like
the
a-
corruption.
So, like a memory.
Yeah, that's another word for it, I guess.
Interesting.
But yeah,
Um,
how about you?
We found a hole, courtesy of this gentleman right here. He looks over to Percy. Not Percy. looks over his knife.
Percy looks over to himself, a hole.
I tripped and fell in it.
Yeah, so it was.
I fell in and I landed. It wasn't
Yeah.
a very dignified landing.
Micah
was
the one-hole wonder.
And
And then we found a lot of
We found
What he does with it.
we found a lot of shit in there, and it was
Oh,
so burned you might have thought that I might have set a fire in there.
but he didn't.
I didn't.
Kind of looks
Can I
nervous.
Can I just say, every time Micah talks, I feel like I'm hearing an old-timey radio broadcast.
God.
I say.
Yeah, like, okay, so it was burned down there, and we had a ritual, possibly
Yes.
some culty shit. Wow, I can't speak. Shit in there. We found some sort of ritual circle with not only just a dead body, but the dead body of a saint. That's very
Terrifying.
interesting. I have its
Oh.
head in my bag.
But you have its
And-
head?
Yeah, never gave me the head.
Holy shit.
I have it. See, he pulls it out. It's like, yeah, look at this shit.
Wow, that really is a whole head.
Yep.
Good God.
It's a skull, right?
Yep.
I think that's what a whole head is called.
I know,
Yep.
I know my skulls, and that sure is a skull.
Yep, I've seen. Yeah, but he'll put it back. Yep, that's. And then ingredients.
It's very
either-
big.
I mean,
Um,
saints are pretty big, aren't they?
eh,
Oh, it's a saint.
Yes. This is from the saint skeleton
Oh.
that Percy found.
yes. And then we found a list of ingredients. Have either of you three heard of Heaven's Bone or Heim of the Night Beast or Fairy's Blood is Heim of the Heaven's Bone or Heim of the Night Beast? Have you heard of either of those two ingredients?
Can I roll one of my terrible fucking skills?
You may indeed.
What
Pike.
terrible skills do we roll?
Just checking my sheet. Pike is a sweet kid, but they do not know anything. Head empty. I'm just gonna roll Arcana at -1.
Oh boy. I mean,
12!
Heaven's Bone makes me think of the skeleton, but I don't.
You know, that
I don't
might be
know.
an idea.
That could be an idea.
Percy, were there any bones missing when you were looking at the skeleton?
Nope,
Besides that
all the
head.
bones were intact.
Would Wanda be able to roll anything like Arcana or religion or something?
Wander could probably roll religion.
Okie dokie. It's a 18.
Wander, from spending so much time with Caspian and Yuli, you may have probably heard stories of Heaven's Bone. You would have been told by Caspian at some point, probably, that Heaven's Bone is something that occurs when a god is either injured or is completely killed by usually another god. It's, as it sounds, it's chunks of divine bone that fall to the earth when a god is either shattered or consumed. They're very valuable. You only come across it every several thousand years when a god is either injured or destroyed. It's very illegal to possess. Yeah, it's a big deal.
They'll relay that to the party.
Oh, so
Oh, shit.
do you think it was from Synthanos' bones, or?
I mean, can we see any visible injuries? Or, I mean, obviously he's not exactly dead, but
Yeah.
The only visible injury on Synthanos is that giant wound in his side, but it doesn't look like it has hit any bone. Never did mention the Forge Master, who would probably at least have some kind of information on that, you could always go talk to him.
Hell yes.
We could. And then, any of you heard of the Heim of the Night Beast? Or... Not really.
I mean, they seem to be very...
You could roll for roll.
You could. Wander might know about it. They could roll Arcana if they wanted to. I say they as though that they're a person who can...
That was worse.
Oh boy.
It's only a 12.
Wander, that sure sounds like a book. Oh boy, you love books.
They just smile and nod. It's like, yeah, book.
Alright,
Is there any libraries here?
there
Libraries
is.
are always good.
There is apparently never pointed us in the direction of one to check out what this night beast thing is, so could go to that first, I guess.
Probably a good idea. More
people.
hands, more eyes means more time scanning for the shelves.
True.
You guys gonna head out into the city then?
Sure.
I'm all for it.
City time.
Alright, you guys head out into
The bustling city life, and
Yeah.
then it's just all crumbling in everyone's side.
the bustling, heavily populated city of like 10 people who decided to stay behind. You guys don't really have to go that far to find the large library. It's a fairly short walk from the cathedral. Pretty easy to spot out. Once always filled with curious students and filled with books, the library's shelves have been kind of cleared for the most part. When you walk in here, the books being stored in crates. There
That's disappointing.
are 4 owlins kind of standing in the main reading room, kind of talking amongst themselves. Their backs are kind of turned to all of you, and you can see on their backs and on their feathers have been carefully dyed so that you can see symbols and pictures that kind of read out a particular story.
Interesting.
One of them seems to catch you out of the corner of their eye, and they go, the library is closed.
We are here on important city business.
City
We were
business.
sent here by Never.
Never's gotten more people. Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh.
Is
Sort
that
of
a...
right this time? Heard of a Heim of the Night Beast?
Heim of the Night Beast. Oh my goodness, that's quite the book you're searching for. We don't usually offer such dark literature to mortals.
literature?
Heim of the Night Beast is you see, it's a, what would you call it? A book of incantations, of a creature far beyond our comprehension. Is there a particular reason you're asking for such a thing?
We have a lead.
Yes, a lead.
Oh, a lead. I believe we may have it, but I was just about to go fetch my dinner, and perhaps if you could go to the tavern next door and get it for me, I could probably dig that book out of the crate for you.
I've got nothing else to do today.
Our first fetch quest. Let's go.
There's the conveniently placed fetch quest that's right next door.
It's like, I guess.
Oh, it's not
We
that
could
far
do
of a
that?
walk. We can do that and get a nice workout in.
Is there a name we should
Oh,
roll for?
Bramblebush.
Bramblebush.
It's a mouse sandwich. I'm very hungry. Please hurry.
Alright, yep.
We'll get
you
that
your
for you.
food.
You all
Sausage out.
take a very conveniently placed walk to the tavern. It's probably
Hello.
It's probably the busiest part of the city, although that's not saying very much. There's a bar in the back with a Minotaur cleaning glasses.
Micah kind of places an elbow on the counter and looks at the Minotaur and like tucks his hair behind his ear, and he's like, "We're here to pick up an order for a Mr. Bramblebush for a mouse sandwich, and may I say you're looking in the picture of fine health today.
The Minotaur looks at you past his massive titties. And he raises an eyebrow.
Very moment.
He raises an eyebrow. Mike is confirmed as a furry. He's like, yeah, I believe that he posted that order today. Let me go check on that for you. He kind of wanders around to the back and
British Minotaur.
He's a very British Minotaur. Micah's really into British furries, apparently.
Micah's not into furries, and I hate you for insinuating that.
Talking of Minotaur.
It's too late. This is characterization.
Micah did not tuck his hair behind his ear. I'm retconning.
You can't.
Micah wants you to become a three-hole wonder for the Minotaur behind the bar.
I'm retconning. No, I'm retconning. Micah's not a fucking furry.
Micah,
the clown is down.
Micah, as you're standing there trying to take this order, a very kind of tall human. He's not like super big, but he's about like 6 foot or something. This guy comes up and shoulder checks you super fucking hard. As he's like kind of putting his glass onto the bar, and he goes,
"Someone's touchy."
He goes, excuse me, newbie, unless you're looking for some trouble. And he calls out to the Minotaur behind the bar.
My good sir, but I feel like when you're trying to pick up an order, you're not exactly looking for trouble.
I don't know. You kind of look like you're looking for trouble.
Sorry, what was that? You were too close to the mic there.
Kind of looks like you're looking for trouble.
I am simply picking up an order, good sir.
It
seems to me like you were the one looking for trouble.
Seems to me like there's a bunch of new faces that I see around here, nosing around my city.
Do you not get new people in here?
No.
Wow, that sucks for you. Anyway, I do have business to conduct, so if you don't mind.
Were you trying to say something, Jake?
I was gonna ask if you can roll kind of an insight on the guy.
Oh, definitely. Go ahead.
Alright. Where's my dice? Okay. That is where is my character sheet? 22.
Percy, you might have actually seen this guy around once or twice. This is a fairy hunter. You might, if you have heard of him, his name is Donovan.
Donovan.
He kind of places his hands down against the bar, and he's like, I saw all of you walk into the city, and it's very, very, very interesting how you newcomers just kind of strutted into that cathedral like you own the city. Very fascinating.
Business, and it's none of yours.
And also, the way of traveling across sightseeing. We wanted to go see the famed cathedral of the city.
Donovan.
Nothing wrong with a little sightseeing, my friend.
Like I said, our business, none of yours.
Donovan kind of looks at you, Percy, and he kind of backs up, and he turns and he looks at his little buddies in the back, and he goes.
Kind of gives a little wave to everyone, like a little finger wave.
He's like, I think that the redhead one is giving me attitude. What do you say, boys?
The redhead.
Or the flaming brunette. I don't know how you describe Micah.
This guy is just in love with Mike.
He's like, I think that you're looking for a bit of a problem here, good sir.
You were the one who came up to me looking for a problem. Now, if you could let me go about my business, we could just ignore each other and get on with our day.
What was that, Finch?
Can Wanda step in? Or
if they want to.
Sorry, Nat, did you want to do something?
I was just gonna say Pike's just kind of the shifting away from Micah. Just like a step at a time, just like
Wanda is just gonna very sincerely say, we're just here to help.
He's like,
that's all we want to do. We just want to help.
Wander, you're a little bit larger than Donovan. Donovan kind of puts his hands on his hips, and he's like, he looks up at you, and he goes, I think that you're here to come in here and cause a little ruckus for me and my fellow hunters here.
We're literally here to pick up a sandwich.
You know, I'm a little bit tired of your attitude, and he kind of.
I'm a little bit tired of you coming up to me and accusing us of literally everything. Can you let me get the sandwich so I can be on my goddamn way?
Micah, Donovan snaps at his he's got 4 little human friends, as non-intimidating as they come, and he goes,
oh, what are we now, the Brady Bunch?
He goes, you all, bring me the gay one!
Can also, Percy, like, real quick, like, while everyone's fighting, just one of the random, like, cronies or whatever, like, not the main guy, but one of the others, can he just, like, wait,
You want to rob him?
Not rob him. With a little fun prestidigitation, Val, can I just I can use it to make it look like someone soiled themselves, like soiled the pants, so he's just gonna look at one of them and just cast prestidigitation on just one random guy. Make him look like he just pissed himself.
Sure! Okay!
Things is happening again!
It is, again.
It keeps happening. It's gonna start.
Donovan points at Mike and he goes, "Hey, boys, get me the gay one!" And then all of Donovan's little buddies kind of look at each other and they stand and they go, which one? They all look rather flamboyant. And he goes, "The one with the open shirt!" And then they all kind of look at each other again and they go, "That doesn't narrow it down for us."
There are 2 people.
He's like,
look upon my chest hair.
He's like, "Your chest hair is mediocre at best!"
I'm better than you.
Can Wanda, like, stand in front of Micah and look as scary as they can, which might not be very, but...
yes, they
I'll
can.
roll intimidation, I guess.
Yes, they can.
Yeah, that is,
Oh, boy.
It's a 7.
We're fighting these guys. I think we're fighting these guys.
What? At that Wander, one of the guys in the back, probably the littlest one, he goes, do I have to grab the big one too? Because I really don't think that I can. And he kind of like mimes holding Wander. He's like, "I don't think that my hands could fit around that one. This is a little bit too much gay. I don't think." And then Donovan kind of looks at him and he goes, "Can one of you do something, please?" And
You are quite formidable. You know, just we're shaking.
Bold of you to assume I know what that word means.
Oh,
you're
dumb. I like that.
One of the oh my god! One of the other fellows in the back kind of points at Delphine and Pike, and he goes, "Those ones look kind of scary. I don't want to hold those ones either. These guys look mean."
Pike bears their sharp.
Oh, you'll find out just how mean I am. And I would like to cast Scorching Ray.
Oh god.
Okay.
Well, we're getting into this, I guess.
I should have prepared calm emotions.
You can. Go. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Alrighty.
Oh, this is how we burn the tavern down.
That is
literally sat there and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna watch while Micah burns a tavern down." And then Jay went, "Oh, he would never." I'm watching Micah burn a tavern down.
Scorching Ray is creating 3 rays of fire and hurling them at targets within range, and making a ranged spell attack for each ray. So, that is a 16, a 10, and an 18.
You know what, Micah? I'm just gonna say, you fucking pelt one of these. You fucking pelt Donovan, straight in his big, stupid, dumb face.
Right. Wait, hold up. I need to roll, 6d6 fire damage.
Oh, go ahead.
Are we in initiative?
No, you are not. You're going to see why in a second, but I'm going to let Jay do this.
Oh no. Roll 6d6 plus 5. Oh wait, no, that's roll 6d6 plus, yeah, okay. That's 22 points of damage.
Oh god. Alright, Jay, Michael lights this guy on fire. This guy is fully ablaze, and his friends go, "Oh my goodness! Oh god!" And they're taking, like, drinks off of the table and pouring it on him, and it's making it worse because it's alcohol, and he starts screaming and goes, "Oh, you fucking idiots!" And they, like, all start, like, stomping him out, and the Minotaur comes back with a bagged sandwich in his hand, and he looks at you guys, and he looks at the guy on fire, and he looks at you guys, and he looks at the guy on fire, and he goes, please leave my tavern. And
of course.
He slowly
grabs the sandwich and fucking bolts.
The Minotaur watches as this guy is rolling around while his little friends are trying to pat him out.
Percy will leave him like a gold piece. Just leave the Minotaur a gold piece.
Thank you.
All of it. Michael.
Pike feels bad, so they're going to cast Healing Word on the burning dude.
Aw. It helps a little bit. He's still on fire, though.
Oh, Pike can create water as a...
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
Pike's gonna create some water to just kind of splush on top of the burning dude.
It splushes, and Donovan is laying there in the Family Guy death pose on the tavern floor. You guys leave this man. No, he's not. You guys leave this man and his little friends, regretting that his friend was so fucking stupid to do that. You go back to the library.
Micah is like, as they're heading back to the library, he was like, "Wow, that guy was a right prick."
Has Percy come in contact with that guy before? Is he always like this?
Yeah, probably. He's just, Donovan's kind of a dick. You probably have never interacted with him in any super significant way, but you know of him.
Yeah, like, he's kind of like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Sounds about right. I would, don't know how a person like that has many friends if they go around picking fights all the time, but, well, I just feel bad for the barkeep.
No, I left him a gold piece.
Oh, hey! Rather nice of you.
Yes.
Anyway, should probably get the sandwich.
Bringing back to the... Go ahead.
To our beneficiary, yes.
Beneficiary.
Thankfully, it didn't get burned, mostly because the Minotaur was holding it the whole time.
Bringing back the sandwich, you guys approach a slightly distraught Bramblebush at the library's counter. One of the other owlin beside him is kind of ruffling through some papers, and they perk up a bit when they see you. And Bramblebush goes, "Oh, thank goodness! I do have some unfortunate news. The book you were looking for is not in the library's possession any longer. It's blasphemous." And
was it here?
It was, and another owlin, Bitterbread, Bramble's sibling, kind of pipes up, and he goes, "There was a gentleman that came in a while back asking about that very book. Dark cloak, most of his face covered, quite the shady sort. And, of course, we told him no. With everything that's gone on, I can't imagine, perhaps it was lifted from our possession."
So, wait, hold on. Wild guess out here. The shady fellow who came asking for the book could have been the one who stole the book.
Now that I think about it...
Throwing that out there.
Now that I think about it, and now that you've brought this up, it's quite possible. And unfortunately, with the city having fallen, I cannot imagine that this person is, well, around anymore.
A bit of a small question here. When's about was this? Would you say before or after the city fell?
Oh, certainly before.
How long before?
Perhaps a week, perhaps 2.
All right, cool. I think we found our guy. Do you have any distinguishing? What his voice sounds like? Could you see his mouth? Do you have any funny?
I believe you fellows may call him something of a average Joe. He didn't sound very specific. His face was a bit covered, which now is a bit peculiar. But usually we don't. People come in here with masks all the time. It's a bit of typical behavior. But now thinking back on it, there's probably something going on with that.
Any sort of discernible features, maybe like a scar you could see, or...
Was he a quirked up white boy with a bit of swagger?
There was no swagger in it. He actually almost tripped on himself coming in here. There was no swagger to be found.
Clumsy.
Yeah,
I'll write that down.
Quite. But other than that, no, unfortunately.
Was he tall?
About average height. This was quite the average fellow, which was why I was a bit curious on why he was inquiring about such a dreadful book.
Any idea of where he just left? Did he say anything about where he was going afterwards? Or, I'm sure he's nowhere.
He just about left, really. It looked like he perhaps maybe was, he headed towards the forge, maybe, or... I really couldn't tell you.
I have to go to the forge.
We do, so...
We should go there.
Excellent idea.
The Owlins watch you guys leave, and Bramblebush looks at him and he goes, those are some very strange creatures, I would say. And then he eats his mouse sandwich.
Is the mouse alive in there, like squirming?
Probably.
Or is it dead?
Oh no.
It's probably a full ass mouse, and they probably like gargles it down like an owl like eats like a fish or something like.
I'm pretty sure that's how Pike eats fish, so Pike's just completely not bothered.
By Talos! You know what? I love it, actually.
Oh my god.
You guys
So
go.
fun having Pike over for dinner.
That's horrifying. I love it. When you guys kind of go to the forge is, again, it's not that far of a walk away. You find one sole guy there, just a dwarf fellow, kind of by the dwindling forge fire out on the outskirts of the city. He's got a long black beard, he's got a little bit of silver streaking through it, and his eyes are kind of a deep amber color. And you can see that he is actually sitting on top of a bear. And his legs are kind of amputated at the knee, and he seems kind of fastened into the saddle on top of the bear. He doesn't really see you guys at first, and you can watch him kind of click his tongue to the bear, and it kind of rears up so that he can reach something on a higher shelf. He kind of seems to just kind of be going about his business.
Micah kind of like knocks on the door as to not startle him.
He turns around and goes, Oh, goodness. Hello.
That's startling.
How can I help you?
Oh god, see, I apologize for startling you. I totally did not mean to do that.
Everything startles me these days. How can I help you?
Right, well, we were here on official business. We're looking for a bit of, well, two things, actually. First of all, about a week before the city fell, someone said they might have seen a shady figure in a big robe and mask, sort of, not a base cabin sort of thing, kind of going this way. Second thing, we're looking for, Percy, what was the name of the thing again?
Heaven's Bone.
Ah.
Or any information on what?
Heaven's Bone.
Information, yes. We don't actually want it, because that would be very illegal.
We have heard it's illegal.
Oh,
Yes.
that's very illegal. Oh, boy. Yeah.
We don't do illegal things here.
No, we're upstanding citizens.
The dwarf kind of raises a brow at you all, and he's like, I'm going to completely believe that tale that you're telling me. However, To answer your question, there was a fellow that was looking for Heaven's Bone. In fact, probably around the same time that you said it, and of course, I told him that I don't sell it. I would never sell something like that. I wouldn't even know how to come by it. I did ask him what he would be using it for, and he said, "Oh, nothing. Just wanted to have some." If you ask me, nobody simply wants to have Heaven's Bone. You tend to seek out Heaven's Bone for a reason.
Yes. Could I make a bit of an educated guess here?
Of course, go ahead.
Was this fellow kind of average size, average face from what you could see, average voice, also like covered up in a lot of ways, like seemed a little bit shady or suspicious?
To be quite frank, there's a lot of people in this city that seem shady or suspicious.
Was he wearing like stuff that would cover his face?
Most people are, but this particular fellow, yes.
Joe.
Yeah, average Joe, as I suppose would be the way that you could describe it.
God damn it, we found our man.
We did.
I can't believe the big bad evil of the campaign is Average Joe.
Average Joe.
Well, we have ourselves a lead in that we're looking for a completely average person.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying we found our man.
No, unfortunately, I do not know who our man actually is.
I don't know. The kind
Average
of person
Joe.
is asking. Average Joe. The kind of person.
We got given a name.
Average Joe, that's his name. My God.
Yeah.
That's his name!
Average Joe.
Oh my god, Percy, you're a genius.
The kind of person, the kind of person that, goes around asking for something like Heaven's Bone. I wouldn't exactly say they give off average Joe energy, as one of the kids may say. He kind of like pats his bear and he goes, he did ask if there were any kind of substitutions for it, and this is bit not great information to be asking about.
Did you tell him?
Well, I had said hypothetically, if one could not get a hold of it, then hypothetically, usually saints hold a very similar divinity, either saints or perhaps angels, but once again, not very easy things to come by.
I see. My good sir, could you excuse me for a moment? And Micah is going to step outside, and he is going to let out a very long scream of frustration, and then come back inside looking as if nothing has happened. Sorry about that. Just connecting the dots in my head.
Oh boy.
Thank you for telling us. Did this person kind of head anywhere else?
He headed off, towards the market, but other than that, I didn't
the
really
market.
see.
Cool. Would you excuse me for a second?
Yes, of course.
He's gonna go do the exact same thing.
Okay.
It's a long day, you know.
He looks at Percy and goes, "Is he okay?"
Yeah, just a long day, you know.
Micah
No.
returns.
Oh boy. Did you have your therapy scream? Was it nice?
I have no idea what you're talking about, my good man. But
Gaslighting me, I see.
I feel like we should probably go hit the market, as it were.
Yes.
Take a looks about.
Havnir nods and he goes, "Well, you enjoy that. If you need anything else, me and old Thunderfoot will be here." The bear kind of
Alright.
coughs at you guys.
Your bear is absolutely stupendous, I say.
Thank you.
I thought you were gonna say the bear was stupid.
No.
The bear's a fucking idiot. Hate you.
Micah actually looks at the bear and is like, "You're doing an amazing job." I'm glad we understand each other.
Pike is gonna try to pat the bear.
You can pat the bear. Thunderfoot lovingly accepts such a pat.
Pike's not crying, you're crying.
Aw.
So
If
you guys,
nothing else, it's market time. Shopping!
Market time.
shopping.
Hey, Curtis!
Ben Bend and snap, sisters!
Let's go!
Anyways, you guys go to the very pitiful remains of the market. There's like 3 stalls that have practically nothing in them.
Wasn't it suggested that like there'd be like fae hunters we could talk to about the fairy blood? Oh no.
You're in the market.
Yeah. About in the market, yeah, and we just made a bad impression on some.
I was about to say, you guys tried to burn one to death. Anyways.
That was me, not the others.
I feel like guilty by association applies here. Anyway.
One of them looked like he pissed himself, so, like...
Yeah, you did. You made one of them fucking look like they shat themselves, or whatever it was that you did.
Just pissed himself. It's probably worn off by now, but...
Anyways, now they think that he was on fire and one of them pissed themselves. Good job, Percy.
Probably should have stolen off one of them. That would probably be better. Anyway.
You guys go to the very pitiful remains of the market, and there's like 3 stalls, and they kind of have practically nothing in them. There's a tall half-elf fellow, selling some vaguely magical-looking things. There's like some fairy wings, like in a box.
Whoa.
There's kind of like little like jars of like powders. It's not super impressive. He looks very bored, and you can hear Foxglove kind of like, fucking whatever. Just bring me to the fucking fairy market. Wow, great for you.
Yeah, just stay in the bag and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Percy?
Nothing. I talk to myself.
Oh.
I'm diseased and crazy. I have rabies.
Fun.
Wow,
Anyway.
just like I talk to myself. Anyway.
Cool. Then you'll be more than good at talking to the merchant guy. It seems like you know a little bit about this sort of thing.
What makes you say that?
Well, you immediately identified what the fairy, like how common fairy's blood was when we looked at it on the ingredient list.
Percy, you hear Foxglove snicker in your bag.
Kind of smacks the bag subtly. It's like, alright, I'll go to talk to the guy. He'll approach the stall and kind of like look around a little at what's there before turning to the guy. He's like, lots of fairy products here?
Yeah, you know, people hunt fairies. I harvest their parts. I sell them to people. You can hear Foxglove kind of fucking audibly rolling his eyes.
By chance, did a shady-looking average Joe ask for fairy's blood?
You see this guy's face go a little pale. He goes, an average-looking Joe. I didn't know. People don't buy fairy's blood here.
Insight check.
You can do an insight check.
Yeah, I'll do it. Percy will also do an insight check.
That is... I regret to say that is...
I can insight check.
A nat 1 plus 3, so it's a 4.
10!
30, 20.
Oh boy. All those wonderful...
Like, so you didn't see average Joe?
He's like, who the fuck is average Joe?
Convinced that this guy is called average Joe.
Mike is like, well, he's absolutely telling the truth. Anyway,
he looks to Wander and he goes, I don't. Joe who?
Joe Mama.
Average Joe.
The fairy hunter looks very confused and also very worried that there's so many people asking him about a Joe and a mama.
I got a 20 for the insight.
This guy is not only confused about Wander asking him about Joe, but he's absolutely lying the fuck through his teeth. This guy is lying and very bad at it.
He kind of like leans against the stall and he's like, I'm not like, it's fine if you're selling like fairy's blood here. If it's something illegal, it won't say anything. We're just trying to figure something out. So if you can be helpful in this, then that would be greatly appreciated, mate.
He kind of rattles.
We just want to know about Joe.
He kind of rattles his fingers nervously on the tabletop, and he goes, "What do you want to know?"
just if some shady guy came asking about fairy's blood, and you sold it to him. That is all I'm asking.
I got a shady guy, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I said.
There's a lot of shady guys around here. You know, there's so many to keep track of.
Micah kind of
You're really making this difficult, huh? I asked you nicely, you know.
People ask me nicely for a lot of things.
Average Joe? Are we talking to Average Joe?
Micah kind of slides up behind Percy and like kind of whispers to him, like, "Do you want me to like charm him and like use a spell to do that?"
I mean, I could do that, but
as you guys are whispering amongst each other, this guy pulls out a handful of sand and he throws it at you and he runs.
Can Percy grab him? Like, try to like blindly grab at him before he can run?
He's already taking down off the street. Y'all gonna have to catch him.
Percy's running.
Micah is going to cast jump on himself.
Jump.
You touch a creature, the creature's jump distance is tripled until the spell ends, and he is going to take a flying leap to try and tackle this guy.
Oh, okay.
So his regular like jump distance is tripled, so he could catch up with the guy.
You kind of land just behind this guy. This guy was flying when he was getting away from you.
He could fly. Okay.
No, not flying. I mean, like flying is in like the sense of like this guy was fucking booking it. My guy has had a lot of experience running from people. Anyways, Micah, you're very close behind him. This guy takes off so fast you would swear his ass was on fire. He dashes down the street, and you all can kind of watch him like dodging like the few people that are on the street, and he kind of finds a house that has a little like wooden lattice up the side, you know, the one that you would use for like flowers. And he climbs this to get up onto the roof.
Micah jumps on top of the roof.
Okay.
Percy's like going after and following him up the lattice.
Percy and Micah, you guys are up on the roof. What are the others doing?
I guess we're following. Is that
he's running up. He's like climbed up onto this house in his pursuit of freedom. There's kind of the road that's like right next to the house runs pretty parallel to it. They could follow down there if they don't feel like leaping up onto the building itself.
One just kind of looks at the others.
What are Pike and Delphina doing?
Pike's just gonna try and run.
Pike's running. Pike's pursuing as well.
Pike's pursuing.
Pike's pursuing. Is Delphina still with us?
My dog is here. Jesus Christ.
The dog is playing Delphina now.
I think our girl boss has fallen asleep, but that's fine. Micah and Percy, you guys are pursuing at the rooftop. I'm gonna need you guys to make a dexterity or a saving throw for me.
Yes.
Hey.
That is a 21.
21?
That is a 2.
Oh boy, Micah!
Micah falls off the roof.
Micah, Micah, you land on this roof. You land on this roof so good from your powerful big dick man jump. You fucking smash through it. You smash through and you plummet through the roof and you fall to the table of a couple trying to enjoy their nice dinner. And they go, ah! And they
so sorry, and he's gonna jump back out the hole.
They go, oh my god! Their feast of like potatoes is on the ground, and they both look at each other.
Sorry.
They both look at each other and they watch you ascend back up through the new hole in their roof.
To the heavens.
Exactly, you fly through the heavens, and you and Percy are in hot pursuit of this half-elven man.
Is Percy able to like try to like grapple, like grab him? Or is he, like,
you can try. Give me a roll.
Okay, what am I rolling?
Dexterity, probably, maybe. I don't know. Give me 20.
That is a 15.
Yeah, so Percy, you snatch this guy. You fucking, he's just about to leap from one roof to another.
Okay, so we're at the edge of a roof?
Yeah, you're at the edge of the roof, and you snatch him just before he does, and you grab him. He has him by, like, the scruff of his shirt. Yeah, you've got him by, like, the scruff of his shirt, and he goes, alright. He goes, okay.
He just holds him. How tall is this guy?
This guy's pretty tall. He's like maybe like a little bit taller than Percy.
Alright, he kind of just like holds him, and he kind of like, not super much yet, but he kind of holds him where it's like, you know, possibly if he were to let go, he could fall off the roof, and he's just holding him. It's like, try to ask him nicely. Don't know why you're running.
All right. Look. Okay.
Wanda's on the street below them. Wanda's on the street below them yelling, Joe, we just want to talk.
Percy, Micah, pulls up behind Percy and is like, oh, good job.
And as Percy's holding him, he does kind of have his, hand, he hasn't pulled out his dagger, but he's kind of has his hand on it, and he's like...
He goes, okay, alright, please don't pull out your... Okay, listen. I was out in the woods, I was scavenging for stuff in my shop, in the woods outside of the city, and there was some weird guys out in the old hunter's cabin, out on the forest at the edge of the woods. Listen, they spotted me, and I guess I saw something I wasn't supposed to, but... I don't know. They said that killing a merchant would draw unnecessary attention, and so they told me if I told anyone that they were there, they'd burn my house down with my family inside, okay? I could tell they meant it, I don't... He's kind of cowering at this point.
Mm-hmm. And Percy's just still holding him kind of over the edge, and he's just like, take it. I'm gonna insight check him again.
You can insight check him if you want.
In case he's, leaving anything out. That is a... 18?
Yeah, he's being pretty genuine. He's just kind of he's a little frazzled, but he's like, listen, man, that's all I know. He came around asking for fairy's blood. I gave him the fairy's blood. I get it from the hunters all the time. Cheap as shit. You can hear fucking Foxglove mumble again, but then he's like, that's all I know, I swear. The hunter's cabin, it's out in the edge of the woods. It's the only one there. You can't miss it. Just be careful. The fairy hunters are out there. I guess there's fairies in there. Just, be careful. That's all I know. I swear.
Percy, if his family is in danger, we should maybe...
Well, you thought I was going to kill him?
No, I mean, exercise a bit more caution, perhaps.
He guys looks at the guy.
He's giving you puppy dog eyes.
He just kind of steps back and kind of pulls him with him to get a better footing. Lets him go. And just see, we didn't need to do this whole chasing thing.
Listen, man, I'm just tired of fucking guys in cloaks threatening me, alright? Getting tired.
I mean, we didn't threaten you.
Yeah, I know, but you chased me onto a roof.
Well, you fled.
Is fleeing illegal now?
Well, it looks pretty suspicious when I...
Yeah, it's really suspicious to question and chase me up a roof. Whatever, man. I gotta go back to my stand. He kind of wiggles down from the rooftop. Mm. You guys are a bunch of dicks. He runs back over to his stall.
So, hunter's cabin, huh?
Guess we better go check it out. Could
Yeah.
always, if anybody does catch us, we could always say that, we just happened upon it and all.
Yeah. Percy will kind of slide his way down the roof.
Micah jumps off the roof.
You slide, you leap, you conquer the day. You guys, you start making your way out towards the forest. It's a very lush, vast forest. And as you do, you kind of make your way deep within the trees. You spot, as the sun has begun to set, it's getting pretty dark out. You're in the dark woods, all by your little lonesomes. You spot some familiar figures out here in the campfire light. Sits 5 individuals. One is a little bit larger than the other 4. He's also fucking the big stupid mustache on his face has been badly charred. 'Cause some dickhead burned him alive in a tavern.
He was being a dick first.
He was. That's true.
Can Percy, when he sees that, can Percy just, because it's dark, right?
Yeah.
Can Percy just, try, he's not, see if he can kind of blend in with the hide, stealth in the shadows a little bit?
Yeah, roll for me. Why not?
Oh, that is a 17.
Yeah, go ahead. You blend seamlessly into the shadows, Percy.
Yeah, he's just kind of walking along the kind of the edge shadows out of, sight of the Fey Hunters for now. See where the night takes us.
Is
Micah sees Percy do this and attempts to do the same.
Give me a roll.
Boy. We don't.
Now you won't believe this.
What did?
Now you won't believe this.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 6.
Micah, you have decided to attempt to become one with nature, and you hide underneath a leaf. It is just a single solemn maple leaf. Your ass is high in the air. Wait, single...
as a druid, wouldn't I? Nothing. Never mind.
Did you?
Are we all stealthing?
Was there? Wait, no. What were you trying to do, Jay?
I was thinking, as a druid, I was like, oh, but as a druid, shouldn't I be able to blend in? But then I was like, nah, probably not.
All right. Well, you're crouched on the ground, ass up, a leaf balanced on your ass, desperately hoping
at that.
Desperately hoping that this is enough to hide you from these people. It's not. He sees you, and he goes,
"Are we all stealthing, or
do you want to? You can."
Wanda has disadvantage, so I think it would be funny.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Wander.
Let's see. It's an 8, yeah.
Wander, you have found a friendly toad, upon which you put on your head and you crouch down, attempting to hide yourself.
Percy is just watching these two trying to hide, and it's just he's not even hiding behind anything. He's just standing kind of in the shadows, and he's just huh. He's just not moving.
Pike's not even hide. Pike's just staring at the toad.
Pike is entranced by the toad. Percy, you can hear from your bag. You can see Foxglove just peeking ever so slightly out of his bag, and he's like, "Where the fuck did you find these people?"
No, I didn't really find these people.
Oh yeah, they found you. Okay, all right. Anyways,
found each other. It's quite.
How romantic. Why don't you guys kiss and make up when they're done doing that? And he hides back into your bag. The fairy hunters see you all, and Donovan is annoyed but not willing to be burned again, and he goes, "Fuck are you all doing out here?"
Taking a stroll.
Can Percy kind of I'm guessing there's a fire that they're at?
Yeah.
Can Percy just kind of walk within the shadows, along the edge, kind of closer to the campfire, just doing nothing? Can he just kind of do that without them noticing?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Continue.
Upon being asked what they're doing, Wanda just says frog.
Donovan blinks. He doesn't have many words, and he goes, "Well, you're all bothering my company. We were just about to go off and look for these fairies in here. Never's
There are
offering.
fairies in here.
There are lots of fairies in here. Never's offering good money for their heads. Suggest you perhaps stay out of our way."
We're not on a hunting expedition. We
Frog.
got lost.
Well,
On a
why
walk.
is that not surprising?
Okay, I'm going to choose not to take that, and let that go to my pride.
I'm going to choose to ignore that, and me and my hunting partner here, and he slaps one of his little cronies on the back, and he goes, and he goes, "We're gonna go out and we're gonna find that fairy, and we're gonna bring it back for some good old money.
What do you say?
Money, good money.
Out. Like. Like really good money?
Really good money. A large fairy head could bring you in as much as 500 gold per skull.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's good money. And it's our money, and you're going to stay there. Mind your own business."
Never was much one for fairy hunting anyway. Stories Mum and Dad always told me used to scare the shit out of me. So I think I'm right fine over here, thank you.
Yeah, quite scary. Percy kind of like, he's probably snuck up from like, I'm guessing all the Fae Hunters' attention is on the group, so he kind of like, from the shadows, he's like walked up from behind, so he's just kind of behind the group now, the Fairy Hunters, and he's just speaks, and he's like, yeah, quite scary.
Percy,
Stories.
when you say that, Donovan goes, "Ah!" He stares at you and he goes, "Oh, God! Creepy little thing, aren't you? Oh, we're going to go find our fairy. All of you are fucking strange." And he grabs his little friend by the wrist and he drags them off into the
One
dark.
who just looks
Throws
very
back.
sad.
Good
With the
luck,
frog.
don't die.
He's just moping with his. They're just moping with their frog.
Yeah, like hey, we're not that strange, right? Oh, okay.
No, we're not strange at all. They started a fight in the middle of a tavern, and also his mustache looks like shit, and I wish I had burned all of it off.
Bye, Talos. Tell us how you really feel like.
I'm very passionate about facial hair.
You should be careful though in these woods if there's a fairy of sorts around.
Oh? I haven't seen any before,
fairy
so...
being around here.
I don't know, isn't it? Oh. Yeah.
I haven't seen any before, so I wouldn't know what they'd look like.
Oh,
I assume
boy.
it's just common sense with the Fae.
So basically, don't give out your names to anyone.
Yeah. Don't give out your names. Avoid them in general.
Yeah, well, we can find that hut and then get out of here so that we don't become fairy food.
Well,
That would be.
you guys make your way. You guys make your way towards through the dark woods. He said
And
that
Micah, use one of his cantrips to, produce, a small, candle flame on the point of his finger so that, Percy doesn't trip over anything.
Yeah, because I'm blind.
Aw.
Percy can't see shit.
tending to the youngins.
The poor human.
The poor dumb little human. Foxglove is relishing in the fact that you're so vulnerable. Anyways. The three hunters left at the cabin are just kind of twiddling their thumbs, trying to avoid eye contact with all of you. You make your way to the hunter's shed. It's still pretty dark. The moon is high and is full tonight. And in the basking glow of that moon is a single shed. It's fairly large. Looks like your run-of-the-mill kind of hunter's cabin. There is, it's pretty basic on the outside, but you can see, where, the wine cellar, would be, has been, completely caved in with rocks.
Probably for the best.
it looks like perhaps it might have at one point been extended, like the sides, but has been completely filled in purposefully. The door, however, like leading inside of the actual cabin is locked.
Ooh. What one are there windows / can we see anyone inside?
You can roll an investigation check.
Yeah, just to see if anyone's inside real quick. That is a 9.
Can I also roll?
You can.
Alrighty.
Well, that's happening.
That is a 5. Wait, 5 plus... That's a 9.
Both 9. Percy will go to the door and go and take out his thieves' tools and pick the lock. If he can do that.
Yeah, you can pick the lock. Go ahead.
Man, 12?
Wait, you with not a ton of grace, you managed to get this open. Kind of scratch around the lock. Not that anybody would really care. The door kind of quietly creeps open, and you guys step in here, and you can kind of immediately tell that something's a little bit funky.
Oh.
Can Micah kind of scan over the floor and look around to see if there's any traps or anything that's immediately amiss?
Yes, you can.
Alrighty. Investigation?
Yep.
That is an 8 plus 4. 12.
Yeah. Micah, there are no traps. You can immediately see on this floor there are they look to be pretty old, smears of blood all across this floor. It's pretty severe. You once you do walk into it, you can see a window from the inside, or actually from the outside, has been broken. There's shattered glass around this around the where the window had been knocked in. There's smears of blood everywhere.
That's rather gory. You said it was old, right?
Yeah, it's old blood. This hasn't been here. It's kind of like it's just kind of your typical hunting shed, but you can definitely see that people had at one point had been kind of working around in here. Most of anything that was perhaps of any value has been removed, but nobody really made an effort to clean anything.
Right.
Is there any sign of culty shit or
Can make me an investigation.
I can help with that.
Ooh. Alright then. Thank you for the help. That is a 15.
You guys can see that while there's no, nothing has been left behind, you guys can smell the faint scent of gasoline. You can smell it everywhere, actually. Someone at some point had doused, the floors and the walls, in gas.
Micah extinguishes his finger flame.
Yeah. At this point, it's probably rained, kind of rained and whatever. It's probably still not safe, but good idea to not have that out. But someone did at one point have intentions of burning this place down, from what you can tell.
Oh, just like the room, except they didn't get to this part.
I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
Can Micah check the floorboards?
Micah may check the floorboards.
Alrighty. That is a 13.
Micah, you kind of pull up the floorboards. You do not find anything, underneath them. There's no secret compartment. However, as you are attempting to pull them open, you see large scratches, in the wood.
Oh boy.
And Percy
Micah relays this information to Percy.
Do the scratch marks look familiar of some sort? Like any sort of animal or something, or?
Do I know that?
Micah, actually, you would not know, particularly.
Okay.
specifically, you would not know.
Would Percy know anything, or does it just look like scratch marks?
Percy might.
Oh, wait. Should I roll investigation, or...
Yeah, roll investigation.
That's a natural 20, plus 121.
You...
I have a feeling I know what this is supposed to be.
You, kind of crouch down, and, you can hear Foxglove, kind of talk to you in the back of your skull, and he goes, those look like fairy claw marks.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
As you were kind of squatted down here, though, you notice, a staircase leading, to a basement.
Stairs to a basement. Alright, I'll stand up and, is there any sort of, like... Actually, no, never mind. I guess we'll head down to the staircase.
Okay, what are Wander and Pike doing?
I guess everyone's kind of looked at what needs to be looked at.
Does Wanda still have the toad?
No, they'd have set the toad free.
Pike has the toad perched on their shoulder now.
Oh.
Pike has adopted this in Wander's toad.
It's a child.
Dual toad fathering.
Micah's gonna follow Percy, though.
Alright. You guys, make your way down to this basement. And, as you do, you can see a very large smear of purple.
Oh.
This looks like it's a big smear of purple, and it looks like it's been, like, walked through. It looks like there's been a struggle here.
Does it still smell of gasoline?
The basement, well, a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
However, there's like a big, like, there's like a huge, there's kind of, well, not, there's a decent sized window kind of like facing the opposite wall that's like, has the moon coming in, and you can see it illuminates like that half of the room pretty well.
Can Micah investigate the purple spear?
Yes,
smear?
you can. Roll me investigation.
Are there any sort of, like, containers with water in here, or not really?
There's not really this, it's kind of like, you're kind of in like a storage room. This looks like it was just kind of used for like animal feed storage, kind of. 1 second.
Say 12, by the way.
Can Pike use medicine to determine if the purple is the blood of something?
Yeah, it was Micah, you rolled to investigate the blood too, right?
Yeah, that was a 12.
Yeah, if you want to roll, Pike, you can investigate it with Micah.
Or I could get advantage.
Or advantage.
I will give Micah advantage.
Okay.
That is a 15.
Alright, you guys go over and you go to look at the blood, and, Micah, you, depending on how much you kind of paid attention, you kind of like touch at the blood a little bit, and the blood shimmers at your fingertips, and either through study or maybe just things that you've heard, you can tell that this is Saint's blood.
Ooh, he is going to relay that. Probably linked to that Saint skeleton we found in the
Quite possibly.
Is there anything else down here? Like just the blood, or is it like an empty basement?
It's a basement that's kind of, it's got like a wardrobe, like a big wardrobe. It's got like barrels kind of tucked underneath a large shelf. There's like a hay thing. There's really nothing else of usual significance in here.
So like, would scouring like the wardrobe and the barrels and stuff for like any potential things I've left behind make sense, or is it just like empty?
You could if you wanted to.
I think that's take a look.
Yeah, I guess Wanda will do that.
Percy will also take a look around. That both of Is that investigation?
Ow.
Yeah.
12 for me.
12 for you.
Oh,
What did
shit.
Wander? Oh boy. What
Shit.
did Wander
like,
get?
It's like a 7. It's fine.
A 7.
It's fine.
Oh,
We're all rolling badly.
Yeah.
Wander, you look at that wardrobe. That sure is a wardrobe made out of wardrobe. You look around. Wow, those sure are some barrels. You like barrels.
I'm connecting the dots. Hey everyone, the barrels in the wardrobe.
Holy shit.
Cut out at that.
The barrels in the wardrobe by Talos. They took Wander for knowing too much.
My cat pulled out my headphones. No,
Your cat
the
was
barrels
like,
in
you
the
know too
wardrobe.
much.
They're made from the same thing.
Like wood.
Yeah.
By the gods.
Wander,
Are you sure?
you're right.
What do you mean? Am I sure?
Are you sure they're made from the same thing?
Oh,
Oh my god, we've broken them.
they can have a breakdown over wood now. It's fine.
Oh, they can have a breakdown over wood, all right. Heyo. Anyways.
Oh my god.
Anyways. So as you guys are kind of scrounging around the basement.
I got a 12 for the.
Yeah, you kind of start like looking around at the barrels and kind of at like all the other stuff around here. There's not a lot of things that particularly pique your interest. However, as you are looking through these things, you hear a giant slam coming from upstairs, and you can like hear something very, very heavy, kind of like
Shit.
stomping through the upstairs, and you can at that point Foxglove bursts out of your bag, and he goes
shit.
he goes, all right, you all need to hide, like right now, like
everyone
Is that
hide, everyone.
Is that a fairy?
We'll talk about it later.
Foxglove like shushes you and he goes, you need to hide right now.
Shit, okay, I finally rolled good. An 18.
All right, you
Everyone's rolling self.
you can if you want. You don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah, I rolled
I
an
guess
18
like how
on stealth.
well. Fuck. Why am I the one who? Okay, wait. That's a 10 for Percy.
Percy, you know, Foxglove somehow manages to yank you into a suitable spot, perhaps.
I am.
Oh no.
I am so upset.
Oh,
I
no.
rolled a nat 20.
Oh, did you?
I
Oh,
have disadvantage, but I have disadvantage.
oh.
So I rolled a 5.
Oh God. Okay. Wander.
Can Micah yank Wander over to where he is?
Yes, please yank Wander.
I rolled a 16 even with disadvantage somehow.
Oh my god.
Micah yanks Wander and like presses them down where he is.
Percy
Like hidden behind a couple of barrels.
Yeah. Percy from where he is like he's staying hidden, but he has like his weapon and like is watching and like ready for something. But
Yeah, Micah has his whip out as well.
Yeah, you guys are hiding. I'm stuffing Delphina in the wardrobe. I'm putting her in there.
You're closeting Delphina?
I am. I'm closeting Delphina. She's in there. You guys you hear something kind of thud to the ground with a really loud thunk, and you start to kind of see red dripping down from the floorboards upstairs. It kind of pitter patters onto the stone of the basement, and then you slowly hear something kind of a low growl that kind of fades into almost a humming noise. Kind of like something is trying to make itself sound like something it is not.
Micah covers his ears.
This thing is like, despite the fact that it's trying to sound like another thing, it's not hiding its footsteps very well, and you can hear it thunk, 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 walking down here, and it slowly makes its way down the stairs, but as it kind of like, you can kind of hear like claw on stone, you do not see whatever this is for a second. It kind of takes a second. You can definitely hear it. It's breathing really heavily. You kind of get like this like sickening, sweet, rotting smell in the back of your nostrils and kind of down the back of your throat. And whatever this thing is pauses for a moment. And you can hear it sniffing the air. And then it slowly starts walking again. And as whatever this thing is nears the moonlight, you can finally see it. It kind of goes from invisible to being visible in the moonlight. This thing has... It's kind of the size of like a large lion. Its face has no eyes. It's kind of got like a little bit of like a very large bear maw. It has no eyes, and it has like large branch-like antlers kind of branching out through the back of its skull, and its muzzle is completely covered in blood. This thing is kind of tilting its muzzle up skyward, trying to track all of you. Percy, you can feel Foxglove kind of in the crook of your neck. He's kind of pressed against you, and you can see him like holding his breath, and it looks like he may be the reason why it cannot sense you guys. This thing kind of sniffs around. Micah, where are you hiding?
Micah's hiding behind a bunch of like the barrels that you mentioned.
All right, Micah, this thing kind of it despite the fact that Foxglove is keeping it from like sensing you guys, this thing shoves its mouth near you, and this thing is massive. It's kind of like sniffing around. Again, it's blind, so it's kind of relying on its other senses, or at least trying to find you. It's very close to you. It's practically in your face, and it's kind of, you know, you get bursts of like hot, gross breath.
Micah holds his breath.
How close? Okay, how far is Percy away from like maybe like the stairs?
Percy is probably like behind like one of the barrels or something. It is not wise to make any kind of sound.
No. I'm not gonna make any sound, but is he maybe within perhaps like 10 feet of the stairs?
Maybe.
He's gonna use like very quietly like the prestidigitation.
Mm-hmm.
And by the stairs is gonna make some like sort of like odor smell come from the stairs to see if he can get the Fae to like sniff at that instead, away from Micah.
Before you do that though, Micah, as this thing opens its mouth to kind of see if it can sniff around, you see a ring kind of hooked around one of its teeth. You remember this ring because you remember your mother used to to kind of fuss with it when she was a while ago. Anytime she would get nervous or talk to someone, she would fuss with this ring on her pinky finger. You haven't seen this ring in a very long time.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's destroying Micah emotionally time already.
Micah,
Micah lore.
Micah's eyes widen, and against his will and better judgment, kind of like a whimper escapes him.
This thing definitely hears that, but Foxglove is trying really, really hard to kind of keep this thing from having any kind of hook on you guys. If you wanted, you could roll a stealth or a dexterity to perhaps grab that.
I am absolutely going to do that. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna
It's nice knowing you guys.
Can
Can
Wonder
before
is like right next to Micah, I guess, since they got pulled over.
That's true.
Can they cast protection from evil and good on Micah?
Yeah, you could actually. Go ahead.
So it just means that aberrations, celestial elementals, fae, fiends, and undead, and since this is a fae, they have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target, and the target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Micah is going to attempt to reach for his mother's ring.
Would you roll?
That is a 17.
Micah, you surprisingly, with as nervous as you are able to very, very stealthily and quietly slip this ring off of this creature's tooth, without it noticing. And Percy casting, what was it? What'd you cast?
Prestidigitation. He just made a sort of odor come from the stairs, hopefully for the Fae to like go up and investigate.
The Fae does that. It as soon as Micah is able to slip this off, this creature turns away and starts kind of going towards that smell. As it does, it kind of flips its body so that the other half of it that wasn't formerly in the moonlight is now in it, and you can see faces writhing on its side, kind of very silently, kind of moving and twitching on the side of its body, and it slowly moves out of the moonlight, and you can no longer see it. But you can definitely hear it sniffing, around, trying to track whatever the smell is.
Were the faces any that Micah recognized?
I was thinking that.
Okay.
It is not. This thing seems, from what you guys can tell, or at least what you guys know from what the guy and the hunters have told you, this thing has been around for a couple weeks. Micah, it's unlikely that that it is more likely that someone that perhaps bought that ring possibly was eaten by this creature. Possibly someone who's probably in this cabin. You could probably get the idea that whoever was trying to burn this down maybe did not get out of here in time before this fairy had found them.
Micah is gonna kind of just like slip the ring on next to his signet ring.
Aw.
And it's a little bit, it fits a lot more snugly than he remembered when he tried it on as a kid. But he just kind of like cradles his hand to his chest, and has a moment before he like, to like collect himself before he like looks at the others and like mouths like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, this, the Fae, you guys hear it kind of scrounge around a little bit more up top, before you can hear it, seemingly leave, the cabin. Foxglove, kind of uncurls himself from you, Percy, and he kind of gets into the middle of the basement, and you can kind of hear you can see the little ears on the side of his head kind of twitching, and you can hear, him kind of trilling in the back of his throat. Until he goes, all right, I think it's gone.
Percy will kind of get out of wherever he was hiding and like, he probably had his hood up this entire time probably, but his hood's up and he's kind of standing kind of like on the edge, and it's like, that was too close for comfort.
That was bad.
Micah kind of like leans against the wall and lets out a breath and is like, "Yeah, you could say that."
Why'd you reach into its mouth?
Nothing. No reason. It was a stupid decision.
The Foxglove looks at him and he goes, "Stupid decision? Yeah, that was a really stupid decision. Why don't you fucking put your hand in a great white shark's mouth next time?"
Maybe I was
done that.
Maybe I was curious. Maybe I did it for no reason at all. Okay. Drop it.
Fucking Foxglove looks at him in like utter disbelief, and they go, fucking whatever. Bunch of fucking weirdos. They speechlessly kind of gawk at Micah before stuffing themselves back in Percy's bag.
I mean, hopefully we won't need it, but that spell lasts 10 minutes, so...
It definitely
Well,
probably good to have. Thank you.
talked about never seeing fairies before. Now you've seen two in the same day. Quite an exciting thing.
Well, I can say that one, it was much more preferable to seeing than the other.
My face is quite wonderful.
That big, scary guy is kind of cute a little bit if you get past it's like a cute little snuggly thing. Foxglove is quite hideous.
Micah kind of like barks out a disbelieving laugh, and he's like, sure, yep, okay.
Percy, you can hear Foxglove tell you in the back of your skull to find a very tall tree and a sturdy rope.
Yeah, I hear ya.
What were we here for again?
Looking for
I
signs of the cult.
The fairies, the person that bought the fairies' blood. Can I have a second?
Sure, why not? It's quite... Yeah.
Fox.
Don't see why not.
Micah's gonna wander upstairs and like take a second to collect himself before going back down and joining them.
Well, you do go upstairs, but when you do, you see the corpse of one of the hunters from the camp laying up there.
Oh shit.
New lunch for our good old fairy friend.
Never mind. I no longer need a minute. There's another dead body up here.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Percy kind of, like, goes up. He's kind of, like, walks along wherever the moonlight's hitting, up the stairs, back face to it. And he's like, that's a body.
Certainly is.
We should bring that back to the city to burial, I suppose.
Foxglove.
I am not that strong.
Foxglove sticks his fucking head out of the bag and he goes, "You really did find a bunch of fucking weirdos."
I'm dead. You don't need to sit in the bag anymore if you won't want to.
Yeah, but your friends are weird.
Get out of here.
Foxglove mopes and flutters out of the bag.
There we go.
Speaking of weirdness, I'd say that the tiny pink fairy that keeps calling everyone else weird would be a bit weirder than, us.
This tiny pink fairy kept you from getting eaten.
Yes, and thank you for that. But still, kind of off-putting to call us weird constantly.
You get used to it. He won't get nice.
Oh, okay.
He's an asshole.
Never mind then.
I
have known people like that. I can get used to it.
I think we need to get you all out of here before that thing comes back, because it seems, and he kind of gestures around the cabin, it has a habit of frequenting this spot.
You know what? Idea.
Like a nest of some sort?
Either a nest or... And he kind of sniffs around. It smells like whoever wanted to burn this fucking place down wasn't exactly able to. It seems like they might have become, fairy
Eaten.
food. Yeah.
Dog chow?
Yeah, dog chow. And I feel like whoever, and he kind of points to that thing that the ring that you took, feels like whoever had that on them,
Well, good riddance then.
Good riddance, I suppose. We need to get you all the fuck out of here. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foxglove is now on top of your head, Percy. Kind of,
Yeah.
his little big stupid fairy ears kind of perked up and on alert.
Let us know if the thing comes back,
No, I thought I'd just kind of let it come out here and eat all of you. think like that'll be an opportune thing to happen.
Oh, come on.
Die.
Oh, you love me too much to let that happen.
Foxglove does not answer that and is sitting on top of your head, trying to keep an eye out for the fairy.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. He's pulling your hair. You're not going anywhere that he wants you to, but he's pulling your hair regardless.
He has his hood up. He has his hood up. You can't grab his hair.
He's pulling he's pulling your hood.
Swats
Yes,
at him
sir.
and knock it off. Head back to town?
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's bring this and Pike gestures to the
I
body.
am definitely not strong enough to carry that.
Oh, you poor thing. Pike, why don't you roll me a strength check?
Will do. What's my strength?
Wanda just quietly puts a hand on Micah's
Oh,
shoulder for a second,
I
but
rolled a
doesn't
natural
say anything
one.
and doesn't like make a big deal out of it.
Micah
Natural
kinda-
one!
Oh no.
Micah kind of leans into the touch and nods at them before continuing.
Aw.
You want me to try and carry that? If we sit on this, I guess.
I think, Pike tried to hoist the body and then fell down with the body on top of them.
Oh god.
Oh, no.
A strength
And
roll.
so Pike,
Yeah.
Pike
Do a,
natural one.
do a strength roll at least to get Pike out from underneath the corpse.
Shit. I need to stop using
help.
that dice. It's only
Help
a
would be
8.
appreciated.
You know what? Well, Wander, your massive big himbo strength, or thembo strength, I should say, is just enough, although you weirdly struggle with this person. You managed to
Didn't like them.
you managed to weirdly struggle pulling this individual back into the city as you guys traverse.
People are lighter underwater.
People are in fact lighter underwater.
There's keep like hood pulled down the rest of the walk down.
Yeah, you Foxglove kind of guides you guys back to the city with their innate hearing abilities. Once you are in the city lines, however, they do vanish back into your bag, Percy. And you guys find your way back to Nevers Cathedral, where they are anxiously awaiting all of you.
Micah is a bit more withdrawn and just kind of looks to Percy to do the talking here.
Oh,
I see.
my God.
So we got some leads on a shady guy who asked for Heaven's Bone, but that's the Saint Bones connection, because apparently that can be a replacement for that.
Never
Person also checked out that one book that we were looking for.
Yeah, whoever.
You know anyone called Average Joe?
never tilts his head, and he's like, I don't believe I know any kind of Joe, and especially not an average one.
Everyone mentioned that a lot, so.
With the shot asking, but yes, we found she stole the Night Beast book from the library, and then apparently had a little shack in the woods with some other buddies that we investigated, but whoever helped with this has either fled or been killed by fairy in the woods.
Never kind of slowly blinks at all of you, and he's like,
He gives a smile.
He's like, that is quite a lot. Oh my. Well. Do you still have that skull with you?
Yes, I haven't taken it off me. He'll take the skull out.
I think you found the skull. You found the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of looks to the floor and is kind of like fuddling with his fingers, and he goes, I think what I might do is I might have you all seek out Ethan. I feel like if there's one person that knows how to, that could maybe, he kind of trails off into thought, and he goes, I'm going to send you to Sakanir, and I'm going to have you give these things to Ethan. Admittedly, most of my mages have fled the city, and I wouldn't be able to manage the magic or the research, in fact, to be able to test those things for you, but I feel maybe if anyone has any answers for us with these, it would perhaps be him.
Does any of us...
Ethan?
Ethan, Sakanir's second-born, one of the saints, in another nearby city.
I see.
I'm going to be completely honest, this is way worse than I even possibly anticipated. And he kind of trails off into thought. He is not having a great time, looks very overwhelmed, and he goes, I think I'll have one of the guards escort you to the way shrine. Keep all of that with you, and he kind of gestures to the skull.
He shrugs and kind of puts it back in his bag.
Yeah, just keep that. I'll have one of the guards escort you to the way shrine. We had to shut it down during the event, but it'll take you straight there. Thank you for all you've done for me today. He stops and he kind of looks through his desk for a moment, and he hands all of you 100 gold each.
Ooh, 100 gold each. Damn.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Ooh.
He sits there and he's like, I would give you more, but
This is more than enough. Generally.
he never kind of looks at you, Micah, and he's like, are you all right?
Oh, yes, just ate some bad shrimp.
Never kind of his eyes widens at that, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. Harrowing experience.
Never slow blinks at that, and he goes, well, I'll have a guard escort you all to the way shrine, and can see if we can get you to Sakanir. Thank you again. And he kind of turns to his desk and seems to be really busy writing things down. One of the guards comes into the room and kind of gathers you all and starts bringing you out back into the city. What the fuck? I'm looking at my notes.
Can we take like 5 minutes before we move on to the next place, or?
Oh yeah, go ahead. The guard kind of drops you off in the big waiting room that you guys first walked into.
Yeah, another hour because it's like almost 12 for me now, and I can go till 1. But after that, I think I'm gonna need to sleep.
Oh yeah, there's probably only like maybe 30 minutes.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll just chuck something in the microwave.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Lunchtime and I'm hungry.
You can all take food, water breaks. There's not much left. Oh, there's no more like big hunting things.
Pumpkin, can I say that you're doing really, really good?
You are doing very good.
Oh, thank you.
This is so fun already.
I've only co-DM'd with Daisy before, so I'm like...
This is, like, amazing.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I'm really having fun. Also, you really started it on the Micah trauma early.
Yeah, I'm like, oh boy.
I was kind of sitting on that because I was like, okay, you know, little trauma moment, TM.
Uh,
And I was like, oh, I wonder what the Micah lore is going to be this session. And then I'm like, oh boy!
Haha, someone who had your mom's ring got eaten. GG.
I mean, he's not really angry about that. He's more thinking about, like, oh shit, I should probably DM this to you, actually.
Death City.
I think it'll be a nice reprieve from big trauma moment. You get to meet two dumbasses and then have a little bit of existential dread. Shouldn't be too much longer, like 30 minutes.
Yeah. No, I'm having a blast.
I'm glad.
The fucking fairy thing was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I have been thinking of that and like mental. That's the one thing I've been like hallucinating about whenever I was thinking of this and like when I was writing it. Because I was like, I need this thing to be standing. I actually, I might bring it back later. Actually, I'm not going to mention it. I want to bring it back for something later. But I've been thinking about the fairy thing for a while. Jake, did you really not fucking know that picture is from an erotic?
I had to tell him that on call.
Is this
I
your
like
first?
that. I didn't think it was from like a right game. I just thought it was. I knew it was sensual in some way. How can you not with that picture?
Okay, hello.
Hello, gamer.
I didn't know the context of what it could have been from.
By Talos. Yes, no, it's from an erotic visual novel. Someone's like, God, I wish I were you.
Yeah.
Is Natford still heating up Mikey Wave?
I think so. Destiny
The
pouting.
microwave.
Microwave. I'm pounding at the doors. Totally normal. There's no reason why I want to go to the Destiny.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
You gotta go
Anyway.
see Ethan.
Well, I don't know who Ethan is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Don't.
Ethan? Who's that? He sounds like a nerd.
Mm-hmm. A nerd you want to bone.
I don't know what you're talking about. Percy's a good Christian boy.
Percy is less Christian than Micah, and that's saying something.
Yeah, it's totally just Ethan.
Huh?
Hee
Okay.
hee.
Percy Pollyann?
No.
No. First of all, Ethan's too greedy. Second of all, no.
Ethan's literally sitting there like mine.
Literally. He's like, this is mine.
I love how the Micah mood in this session went from normal to I'm going to fuck this guy up to ow.
Ow.
It's a big pain.
I still can't get over it when he was like, Micah won't burn down a tavern.
Literally!
And
And you sat there, you told me, you're like, no, Micah would never.
To be you put him in a situation that would require burning down a tavern on accident.
I put him in, like, a situation, then you were like, what if there was fire involved?
Okay, well, the other
yeah,
guy was advancing on us.
I feel like that's just Micah in a nutshell, though. Like, just what if there was fire involved?
Okay, well, he may be a little bit of a pyromaniac. It's okay.
Me fucking watching Micah burn down a tavern.
Yeah. You're proud of yourself for that one?
I'm very proud of myself for that one, because it's true.
Listen, I can't control him, okay?
You sound like me when I try to get Daffy to bone someone. He's got a mind of his own.
Micah is my funny little blurbo. Like, one day he walked up to me and he was like, hey, I really hate chocolate now. And I was like, okay.
Bye, Talos.
Also, a funny little tidbit. He likes carrot cake. He doesn't like chocolate cake.
He likes character cake, but not chocolate cake.
Carrot cake.
Ah, I see.
Character cake.
Character cake.
My favorite.
He likes SpongeBob to be on top of his cake.
Oh my god.
Can't believe Fraz just fell asleep.
I was like, where is she? And then she's just asleep.
She must
She's
be
just knocked
tired.
the fuck out.
Yeah. Wanda's even dumber than I planned. It's great.
I love them so much.
I love Wander.
Hey, where's have you heard of someone called Average Joe? I love them so much.
The frog. Oh my god, I adore them.
You know, it wasn't in the plan, but that's just how it's playing out apparently.
Frog.
It's amazing. I love them so much.
I'm looking through my notes. There's about 30 minutes left.
Yee. I was like, oh, this will be like 6-hour long session. We've been going for like almost 3 hours.
Because I had like so much fucking stuff. And sometimes I was like, it was a toss up between you guys are going to do this in like a normal amount of time or this is going to take for fucking ever. Which I would have been fine with either. Alright.
Hello, Nat.
Are you back, Nat?
Kinda.
Uh-oh.
I may have rendered some takoyaki inedible.
Oh,
no.
Oh, boy. You poor
Oh,
thing. Alright. I think I will actually start us. So, the guard would have escorted you guys to the Way Shrine. because fast travel exists here, because I said so. Anyways, you guys find yourselves in a dimly lit forest, standing before an absolutely massive black tree. You seem to have been taken to what kind of looks like a large graveyard in a dimly lit forest. As you slowly begin to approach this large tree, there's kind of a low rumbling noise as a creature slowly lifts itself from the path before you. Crumbling gravestones cover its back, somehow not disturbing the offerings left at those graves. And it kind of lifts like its large, dark head to you guys. Kind of looks almost like a turtle. And it slowly blinks at you with like these big glowing white eyes. And it says very
Micah
soft.
slow blinks black.
Oh, okay. It looks to Micah, and it looks as though it's staring straight into your soul. And it kind of slow blinks to you, and it goes, "Worthy." And then it slowly goes back into the earth and allows you to kind of cross the path back over its back. You guys reach this tree, and it's it's like a large kind of stone gate that's up pressed against the front of this tree. There's 2 stone angels kind of on either side that have like kind of their hands covering their eyes. And the stone angels slowly pull their hands away from their faces and pull the doors open for you. And all of you kind of pile through that door, and it shuts slowly behind you. And you descend down kind of some stone steps. Oh, there's my notes. All right. You guys make your way down these stairs, and the sight before you, if you've never been here, it's kind of like you never left the outside. There's kind of a whole other kind of underworld here in this city. You were in the city of Sakanir, and before you there's like the streets are it's unlike Kiatos. It's full of bustling people. People are walking along the streets. The buildings are very old, very dark stone. And you can kind of see like graveyards and cemeteries kind of sprinkled among the architecture of this place. You can see like full merchant stands off buildings as far as the eye can see. And there's a large cathedral similar to Kiatos, kind of at the center of the city. The sky is kind of as a deep gold, as the sun outside, or the moon is still full, but the sky is kind of still like a deep gold down here. Delphina, if she were still here, as she is here, technically in spirit, knows the way to Ethan's office by heart. She kind of leads you guys to this cathedral, kind of up the dark staircases, and you sorry, I'm staring at my fucking notes.
All good.
You enter this cathedral, and you kind of walk your way up to the top of the building. You kind of stand before what looks to be kind of like a laboratory almost. Delphina kind of lets you guys in, and you kind of walk into what looks like a very cluttered but very, very well-used room, kind of filled with like apothecary things. There's like specimens in like large glass tanks, jars filled with like wet specimens, diagrams and notes taped up onto the wall. Lots of strange plants kind of overflowing in boxes under large stained glass windows. And you have, there's 2 large dissection tables, one that has something on top of it covered by a sheet. But this place has definitely been heavily used and is frequently used by someone. There's a giant man-eating plant in the corner with a little label on its front named Twinkle. Percy, you can hear Foxglove swallow nervously as you look up and see just a huge row of pinned small fairies along the wall. You move past the workshop area into what looks like a little bit more of kind of a living space, and you can see two people talking. Delphina, you'd recognize Ethan's stupid haircut anywhere. He's kind of standing talking to a very, very large man, about 8 feet tall. Wander and Pike, you would know this as Caspian. The two are kind of having a heated argument or discussion among each other. And they're, between them, kind of rattling against in a glass box or a cage of some sort. Looks like a small fallen. And it kind of sits between them as the two of them are talking, and Ethan goes, I kind of expected something a little larger, you know? And Caspian kind of looks down at him and goes, and I'm sure you hear that a lot. However, that's all I could get you on such short notice.
Pike goes, hey, in the background and waves at Caspian.
Micah is having a moment because of Caspian.
Caspian,
But not like the trauma moment. It's like he's like tucking his hair behind his ear and he's like putting on like getting back into his normal self.
It's a dick trauma moment. Ethan glances behind Caspian to kind of glare at you all. He does take note that Delphina's there, so like he isn't violent yet. But he knows you guys are there. There's a small fallen, dick trauma. Yes, dick trauma. There's a small fallen around the size of a gnome, inside an enchanted glass case that's kind of throwing itself, against the glass pane, trying to get out. And, Ethan goes, you know, I'm just saying, something a little bit larger could have been more use. And Caspian kind of folds his arms in front of his chest and he goes, you know, you could be a little bit more grateful. It took me a bit to get you that one at most. And Ethan kind of looks back up at him and he goes, oh, I'm sorry. Did I make you feel bad, Captain? Maybe you could sing me a little sea shanty about it. Caspian kind of
snickers a little.
What did you say?
Percy kind of snickers a little under his breath.
Caspian fucking bores down at Ethan and he goes, oh, you want a sea shanty, huh? Oh, fuck you.
Micah very audibly like snorts at that.
Caspian glares at the two of them, at all of you outside of his office, and Caspian gives him the finger and Ethan gives him one back. And Caspian goes, you have company, and I have things to do. Hope you have a nice day, Ethan. And Ethan goes, don't tell me what to do. Caspian wanders out of the office, and he kind of stands in front of you. And he takes note of you, Pike, and he puts his big giant hand on your head, and he ruffles your hair.
Pike's just like cat mouth. Like, Pike leans into it like a dog getting head pats.
Aw.
Caspian gives Pike lots of head pats. He scratches the top of their head and he goes, you know what? You were kind of the last person I expected to see here, but it's a good welcome. And he kind of turns to look at the rest of you. And then he turns to look at Wander. And he kind of takes a double take and goes, what are you doing here?
No. Stuff. Things.
Stuff and things. Those are some very important. Those are some very important things, Wander.
They look kind of surprised that he remembers their name.
Aw.
Caspian gives Wander a very, very soft, very earnest smile, and he gives him a little shoulder squeeze, and he goes, You've bulked up a little bit last time I've seen you. He gives him a very, very soft little, not like a punch, but like a little tap against their shoulder.
Working on it.
Caspian kind of looks him up and down and goes, I like it. It's a nice change.
I just smile.
Caspian gives you a little bit more of a prolonged look, and then he kind of looks around at the rest of you, and he goes, "So, who are your friends?"
Micah kind of tries not to show how eager he is, and kind of like tries very hard to appear calm. It's like, Micah, here, that's, Percy and
Yep.
Delphina.
Is there a table in this room?
There's an empty table next to the full one over in the laboratory-esque area.
But not in like the living. We're in the living.
You're
area,
kind of
right?
like in a weird in between. He kind of has like a spot where like he sleeps, and then he has a spot where he like does his weird science shit.
Oh, okay.
There's probably places in both.
Micah's fully fixated on Caspian, and he's like, "You're Wander and Pike."
Oh, I've known Wander and Pike for a long time. I've known Pike since they were just a wee little thing. And he pats Pike's head again.
You certainly don't look it.
Oh, I know. That good old saint. He gestures to himself. Yuli magic, I suppose. I've known Wander over here. And he gives Wander a little shoulder squeeze again. For a while.
Done you well. Very tall.
We tend to be. Some of us, at least. And he yells over to Athen, and Athen gives him the finger again.
Oh dear.
It's fine.
Well, guess we'll be seeing you around.
I have to go back to Isidon for a bit because I have to go intercept a fishing ship, or else a certain someone will attempt to play with it. But you may see a little bit more of me eventually. And it kind of...
Oh, I think you should let her have her fun.
Yeah, but Yuli's idea of fun eventually means that people will stop giving us fish, and we kind of need fish.
Well, it's like we're an island. I think we can get our own fish.
Yeah, but it's nice to have different kinds of fish, There's other kinds of fish are nice, and I also like it when she doesn't turn over boats because she wants to play chicken with them. It's, Wander, Caspian kind of looks very affectionately at you, and he goes, "It's been nice to see you again."
We are standing Caspian this day.
Micah's like, hopefully we'll see you around.
See you back home, bro.
See you back home, Pike, and gives you another little thing, little head scratch. And he gives Wander's shoulder another squeeze, and he kind of brushes past you guys.
Micah's seething right now.
Micah's staring directly at his ass.
Caspian wanders back, and he gives Micah his own head pat.
Micah is trying very hard not to show how much that affects him.
Caspian has exited the room, and Ethan is like standing there at the side of his desk, like, really, in front of my salad.
Micah like bangs his head against a door.
Well, Your Majesty, and Percy kind of like walks further into the room. If there's some sort of like, I don't know if in the room there's any sort of surface in there, but he goes in and plops the bag down on the surface, like, pleasure to meet you. Opens up his bag with the dagger and the head, and he's like, know what these things are?
Ethan stares at you, Percy. He stares at you fucking dead on, and he reaches into your bag, and he grabs a firm hold of Foxglove.
Oh, shit.
Please put my little friend down.
You have a lot of fucking nerve, and Foxglove is firmly in this man's grip, in this manlet's hands. He's like, oh god. It's like that gif of Ryan Reynolds waving a ferret around. And he goes, are you insane? Are you out of your mind bringing this into my office, into my city?
In front of my salad?
In front of my salad?
He did save our lives, though.
Yeah, and you weren't supposed to know, so...
Oh! So you can just shit my office! And if I didn't know, then that means it's okay!
He wasn't gonna do anything. What do you think this little guy can do? He can maybe bite you, but that's it.
Do you not... The damage these things can do, and he's, like, shaking him, and Foxglove's like, I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights. Oh, the panic is setting in. You bring this...
You're gonna make the poor guy throw up.
He better not. I have a collection. I'd love to add to it, and that just makes Foxglove even more anxious. He's like, oh. He squeezes him, and you just hear a little...
Hey. I understand.
He makes a squeaky toy noise.
It's the fairy shit. I understand. Would it help to know that Never sent us for this?
Never sent you and let you bring a fairy into my city.
He doesn't know about the fairy.
Ethan closes his eyes, and he takes a deep breath, and he tosses Foxglove back at you, Percy, and Foxglove goes, eh! Percy was terrible.
Yeah, okay. He just puts him on his shoulder or whatever.
You have a one-strike policy with that thing, with me. If I find out it's done anything, it's sniffed someone the wrong way, it goes on my wall.
Sounds fair. Completely fair. Anyway, the skull and dagger.
The skull and dagger. He looks down at it, and he's like, why is any of this of any use to me?
Well, here, okay. He's just there, sent by Never to go investigate the corruption shit, you know, how all that goes. Found a ritual. And they were using, this is a saint skull, using a saint blood and bones instead of heaven's bone. Never thought this
fairy blood.
And fairy blood. And
a book.
And a book. We have not found the book. Never thought that you could look at this to maybe figure out more maybe who this saint was, maybe? I'm not quite sure. And I believe this dagger, he kind of holds it up, was probably used in the ritual, has some funky runes on it that I can't read. So, you look smart, you could probably figure that out. Hands the dagger over.
Ethan takes the dagger and he looks at it, and his ears twitch a little bit. And he takes a cigarette and he puts it in his mouth and he goes, so I just have to fucking figure all this stuff out for you, huh?
If you want, it would be quite helpful to figure out all this corruption stuff, you know?
I mean, I can offer you a light for your cigarette.
Ethan accepts the light for a cigarette.
Micah lights his finger on fire.
Ethan lights his cigarette, and he sits there and he goes, fine. He picks up the skull and he kind of looks at it and he's like, give me a day, I could probably test this and figure out who the fuck it is. You said something about Heaven's Bone?
Yes, something part of the ritual, and someone, a forge master in the city, talked about someone asking about it, and him saying that an alternative would have been saint bones, I guess. So,
Ethan kind of pauses and he kind of contemplates for a second. He's like, well, technically, yes, that Saint Bones would be an alternative to magic that one shouldn't be practicing to need it. And he looks a little bit frustrated. He looks at the dagger and he goes, "This is I've seen this writing before somewhere, but I don't think I can really do much with it. You'll have to give me another day for this one." And he kind of puts everything on the back of on the back table, and he looks at all of you and he goes, "Do you even know exactly what this corruption is that you're playing with?"
Nope. I was
not
hiding.
Isn't the point of us being here to figure it out?
Yep, we were hired.
Do you know what it does?
Absolutely not.
corrupts people. I can make an educated guess.
Avon kind of gives a little bit of a sigh, and then he
Hey, don't blame us. We were kind of thrown into the deep end here.
I suppose so. He sighs and he gestures for you all to follow him to the examination table, where the large sheet is, and he kind of pulls the cloth or the sheet from over it, and there is a very large creature underneath this sheet. It's dark black in color. It has like lots of like ridges and spines and kind of spikes along its body. It's definitely been like sufficiently twisted and like deformed. And he looks at all of you and he goes, "Do you know what this is?"
Nope.
A body of sorts.
This is what we've been calling these things, the people that fall victim to this corruption. I think that the people call them fallen, but here's the thing about this. This body has been dead for several weeks. Do you notice a weird smell in the room?
Not one.
He will take a sniff. Like, does he smell anything?
Nah, you don't.
Nope.
Do you notice? Well, I suppose you wouldn't be able to tell, but he kind of like there's he's opened like this creature's chest, and he's holding he's kind of holding one of its like large ribs in his hand, and he goes, "This is not decomposed a bit since the day it died. They don't they don't decompose, they don't rot. They just kind of die. This used to be a person." Ethan kind of... Oh, go ahead.
Do you have like notes on this you'd be willing to let us read?
Ethan
Maybe
kinda...
while you figure out the dagger thing.
Ethan kind of stands and kind of goes over to a table on the nearby, and he kind of pulls off like some hand-drawn notes on these creatures. And you can see that like there's notes on like partial corruption. There's notes on like what happens if someone fully turns fallen. They're kind of just hand-drawn illustrations of like just different kinds of creatures that these people tend to turn into when they're touched by the corruption. And he hands them over to you and he goes, "This, it seems that whenever this thing touches people, it doesn't just affect gods and beasts. Mortals, at the same time, are kind of changed by it, if you're not careful."
Do you mind if I copy these down? Or
By all means. I don't know what she'd use them for, but go ahead.
you never know. Might be relevant. Shouldn't forget.
Ethan kind of stands and crosses his arms across his chest, and He goes, I think my father would probably like to have a talk with all of you, seeing as you're here in his city, prying about. He said never sent you.
Yep.
Yep.
Thought you were going to talk to about this. He kind of pokes at the saint skull.
Nah, I think he kind of lifts the saint skull again, and he kind of looks at it, and he goes, "So you said something about a ritual of sorts."
Yeah, suspect it has something to do with the city falling, but there wasn't a whole lot of evidence. They burned the place, and whoever was involved is either dead or is long gone by now. Or people who have been involved.
Dead.
Only, hopefully dead, but, I mean, hopefully dead, but also they had information on them. Anyway.
Do you know an average Joe?
Avon kind of squints his eyes at Wander, and he goes, "If you're gonna tell me a Joe Mama joke, Caspian has already told me 3 today."
Oh, what?
He squints at Wander. There's something up with you.
They are doing their best.
Everyone kept mentioning Average Joe when we were asking about the suspect, so...
Avon looks to Percy. Average Joe.
Correct. An average Joe.
Okay.
That could be involved with the, ritual thing. We don't have a lot to lead by. They did burn the place, so the only, evidence we have is signs of a ritual, the knife, the body, and the recipe list listing Heaven's Bone, Hide of the Night Beast, and Fairy's Blood. That's all.
Oh, and the fact that they went and got the book.
Yeah, they
Right.
have the book. They still have the book, probably. Unless
Unless they're dead.
they're all dead.
In which case it doesn't matter. But if they are alive, then they do still have that.
Avon kind of puts the skull down, and he goes, "Alright. I could run some tests tonight, and I could probably have some answers for you by tomorrow morning."
You're not going to sleep?
Saints don't sleep.
Oh.
He slow blinks at Micah, and he's like, "Unfortunately for us, our divinity keeps us from needing things like sleep and food and, you know."
No offense, but that kind of sounds...
I don't know.
ass.
Oh,
What's
fucking sucks. Do you ever sit up for an extra 8 hours listening to Caspian tell you knock jokes? Fucking sucks.
What? But that's my favorite sleep of the time.
No,
I thought the knock jokes were very interesting.
Avon looks at Wander, and he looks Wander up and down, and he's like, "I'm sure that you thought little parts of him were interesting." Anyways, he puts a cigarette in his mouth. And he goes,
It just completely flies over Wanda's head. They don't get it.
Micah's like, "Oh, well, I certainly think lots of parts of him are interesting."
"Yeah, I'm sure you guys do." Ethan rolls his eyes, and he
He's
fucking...
very tall.
He's out
He
all
is
of...
very tall.
He's very
They just look kind of confused.
Ethan looks
I
at
mean,
Wander.
everyone can see he's tall, right?
Ethan
Quite
looks...
tall.
Is that interesting?
Ethan looks at Wander. Ethan looks at Wander real close. Ethan keeps looking at Wander. There's something up with you. I want to dissect you like a little... I want to put you under a microscope.
Hey, if you dissect my friend, who I have known for a day, I will be incredibly mad.
They're so...
I mean, like, if I'm dead, but I'm not. But when I'm dead...
I would be distressed if you got dissected.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Ethan is looking at all of you like you all have 5 heads. So
Micah is looking like at Ethan like he has rabies.
Ethan probably does have rabies. Ethan has probably died of rabies before. Ethan puts the skull on his table and he goes, alright, anyways. I think my father would like to have a word with all of you. So, I will establish your strange little skull situation here. Then he kind of gestures for all of you to follow him. And he takes you guys off down the hallway and kind of brings you guys into kind of what seems to be a throne room of sorts. And there is a very large being sitting in this throne room, and he's kind of standing against a large pane of stained glass. Ethan kind of quietly leads you guys to him, and he goes, these are the newest of Neva's miscreants. And when Sakanier kind of turns to look at you guys, you kind of feel as though you're almost being suffocated. Not directly, but you find it a lot harder to breathe when you're kind of standing in his presence. Sakanier is over 10 feet tall. He's a very large saint. He's kind of lich-like in appearance. A black skull kind of bears down at you, with large horns on either side of his head. And from those horns, hang large orange lanterns. And he kind of slow blinks at all of you, and he goes, "Oh, what a interesting selection he's chosen." And he kind of slowly walks up to you guys, and he tilts his head, and he looks at you, Micah, and he goes, "What's your name?"
Micah Ernine.
He looks at you, Wander, and he goes, "And you?"
I Wanderlust, but Wonder is okay. If you want.
Sakanier looks at you, Percy, and you.
Perseus, Your Majesty.
And then he
Are we supposed to be formal?
he looks to you, Pike, and yours. Vitalis Pike has died.
I'm Pike. Hey.
Sakanier kind of nods to himself, and he goes, "An interesting bunch, I see." Ethan has gone back to his office, but Sakanier kind of looks at all of you, and he goes, "Well, a lot of Neva's hires have come and gone, but I feel for some reason that I can provide you all. I wish to show you something." And he kind of gestures with his head for you guys to follow him. And he brings you through another stone door with 2 angels on each side of it. And he goes, "I carry a great burden that I wish to show you, for I believe it will offer some perspective on how dire our situation is." And Sakanier opens this door, and he kind of gestures for all of you to follow. And you are all led down a dark hall that seems to expand in a way that kind of makes you lose sense of time. You can all see Sakanier by the large lanterns that are hanging from his horns, but you seem to lose kind of any concept that you are like walking on a floor, or that you are like existing in this moment. You slowly begin to kind of realize that there are kind of spirits that are walking beside you, of all species, all races, old gods, new gods, mortals, echoes of things that are no longer here. And Sakanir keeps walking. And he goes, "It is my duty to lead every soul at the end of its life to the other side. I know every spirit that meets its end, and I walk with each to their great end. I know all of their names, even if they did not have anyone to name them. I would know all of them blind. And yet," and he stops, and you can see before you kind of this mass, like, writhing of darkness before you. Kind of purple flecks kind of lift from it in the same way that the corruption that had overtaken Synthanos kind of festered. And it kind of stands before you here at the end of all things. And the Death Lich kind of looks to all of you, and he goes, "This darkness has taken those lost to its rot from me, stolen them in life and in death. None of their souls are here. And I cannot find them.
They're just gone?
They're just gone. Any trace of them, any trace of who they once were, it's slipped from my fingertips, it seems. It's denied them a rest. It has somehow denied them their heaven." You stand there with the god of death at the end of all things, and he turns to you with a very deep sadness in his eyes, and he says, "I beg of you to find who's committed this tragedy for the people that we lost, for those that we will lose to this, for all those people who were never meant to be monsters." And he kind of takes a deep breath, and he goes, "And for my son." And you all kind of blink, and you're back in the throne room, and he stands before you, and he just kind of bores down at all of you.
Mike is at a loss for words.
We'll do the best we can to figure this out.
Pike's really disquieted by the news that they're just lost.
I wish that I had answers for you, and it kills me that I don't, but I have never seen this in all of the time that I've been alive. Nothing has ever just stolen souls from me.
That's...
I'm
Oh,
pretty lost.
It's all right. I am. My kind are not strangers to death, but you know, it's a surprise to say the least. He looks at you, Micah, and he goes, "Your pity is appreciated, but I want you to turn it into a way to perhaps find out what's done this. My son was good and kind and gentle, and he deserves better than that. And perhaps you can be the one to help him find his way back to me."
Give it my best.
Zakania kind of nods at all of you.
We'll bring him back.
Zakania nods to all of you, and he goes, "Well, I'm sure you've all had quite quite a riveting day, as it were. I'll have one of the guards show you to the tavern. I've made arrangements for you all, so you can all rest, and perhaps we can settle something in the morning.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
The large lich kind of bows to you all, and kind of turns, and he leaves through a different door, and a guard does, in fact, show you to a tavern in the city, where you are given the entire top floor to kind of pick out your rooms as you would.
How late is it into the night?
It's pretty late. It's, I'd say maybe you guys get in here around, like, 2 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys were out there for quite some time. Foxglove is standing on the table eating some bread that was left out for you guys. You have your own personal meals, but he is going in ham on that free bread.
Micah just kind of shovels whatever he can into his mouth and goes and passes out on one of the beds, like smudged very quickly, materializing next to him and curling up on him.
Aw.
Oh boy.
He will be a menace in the morning.
Are the rest of you doing the same?
Yeah, if the tavern keeper was, like, awake when we got here, he might have, like, Percy might have, like, talked to them about, like, not tonight, but, like, arrangements of, like, okay, if it's okay to play at the tavern, or if they already have a bard.
Oh yeah, they'd probably let him play if he wanted to.
Yeah, just makes arrangements for that, and then picks out a room and lets Foxglove go and eat the bread or whatever. Just
Foxglove is sitting on your chest watching you sleep. How about you guys?
not settling at all.
Pike's kind of chomping at food, but really disquieted.
Oh, Pike.
Like, they've got something really on their mind.
Aw. How about Wander?
They've probably been like trying to copy out those notes they got given. Like they're fidgeting with their bracelet more than usual. But other than that, not much.
Oh, Wander. Sniffs. Sniffs! I think probably once all of you kind of have had your dinner and have kind of finished what you were doing and gone to bed, you all dream kind of a very heavy, murky thing between a dream and a nightmare. You dream of purple light and a vast darkness that you cannot seem to comprehend. And that's kind of where the session ends off today.
Alright.
That was so good.
That was
Yeah, that was really good.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. Alrighty, and let me make my notes available so that
Ooh.
Raz can catch up.
I think Fraz is like literally fucking dead asleep.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna drop it in.
I
Where
wrote-
should I put it?
11 pages of notes.
I'm gonna put it in writing.
Oh, that was so good. I'm so excited for next session.
Yeah, that was really
Yes.
cool, Pumpkin.
Oh, thank you.
I'm already I'm so invested in this.
Because
Yes, no more.
sometimes there's so much fucking stuff in your brain and you're like, man, I gotta describe all this. God damn it.
Hmm.
You did a great job at describing everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
you did really good.
It was so good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I-
Thoughts.
There's a lot of
Thoughts and prayers.
thoughts and prayers. You're gonna need thoughts and prayers for the next one, that's for sure. So what does that mean anyways?
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
I will have D20 like actually set up for you guys next week. And I'm gonna try and have like an actual like D&D screen set up for next week. I was gonna use yours, Jay, but for some reason OBS will not fucking let me implement anything but my fucking starting pack that I
weird.
have.
Yeah. Huh.
If not, I'll definitely use it next week if it will fucking let me, or if I don't have a graphic pre-ready. Or I might find a way to just stream D20 depending on what we do. Because I have...
It's also a thing. Yeah. People can see our little characters, like, on the screen, being like, ooh.
Yeah, Jade drew a really nice...
Nice.
What do you... it is nice. It's cute.
It took like 2 seconds.
And yet still, it's very nice.
Oh. Can we see? Oh, we allowed to see?
Yeah. It's cute. Don't fucking let Jay say it's not.
Aw. That is cute.
Aw, I love that!
Aww.
I love
It
that.
took me no time at all.
And still, I love it. So, really, who wins here? Me.
I love that Wander just looks like a sheep.
Yeah. Maybe Wonder is the real furry here.
Wander is the real furry here. Minotaur is step aside.
Oh my god, no.
I'm skimming through the notes and I'm laughing at Percy talks to the fairy seller guy. He runs! Chasing him. I don't know why that made me laugh. He runs.
My notes are very harried and only ever make sense to me most of the time. My notes for Rihanna are weirder. This is just like I gotta have like something nice instead of the stupid shit that I write down for Rihanna, which is literally like a burning house LMAO anyway.
I just saw that they called us all gay.
I need you to know I've had that in my brain, bouncing around in my brain of them being like, give me the gay one, and then they're like, which one? There's multiple of them. The one with the open shirt that doesn't narrow it down at all. Good.
Brain really devolved into thirst, funnily enough.
Yeah. He went through so many emotions.
That man was like, anarchy. Oh, burn something down. Oh, trauma. Oh, titties.
Horny.
Literally. Caspian sitting there like, oh, wow, look, Wander and Pike. And Micah's like, please, let me be your 3-hole wonder.
Micah's sitting there like a crumb. Please.
A crumb, please. You're 8 feet tall. I know that wiener's massive.
Please. Just a crumb of dick.
Just a crumb of fat shaft, sir. I'm begging.
It's been so long. Please, it's been like 4+ years.
Oh my god! Caspian solving all of his trauma with his penis. That's it. That's the lore. The things that matter. Exactly, fly casual.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate the versatility of Micah that he can go immediately from, oh no, I'm having tragic thoughts about my mother, to, oh, that man tall.
He's tall and his tits are huge.
His tits gotta be huge. He's a big boy.
Listen, Micah knows what he wants.
You know what? I feel like that's the only thing that we can ask from Micah. Be earnest and true to yourself. Know that you want huge badonkers.
Well, he'll be earnest and true about that. He won't be earnest and true about much else.
Oh, I know. I'll have to fucking yank it out of him.
Good luck with that. He's lied so many times this session.
Oh boy.
Fucking sure he has, little shit.
I'm so laughing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just to say, I'm still laughing at fucking Athens just yanking Foxglove out of the bag.
Oh my god. Literally, I was sitting there like, oh, don't mishandle the fairy, please.
Oh, he's fucking gonna mishandle Foxglove all the time. Ethan is, very, how do you say? Nosy. A little shit. It's really, really hard to hide things from him. Other people, other saints, it's probably a little bit easier from him, not so much.
Micah's just like, he can mishandle me anytime.
Hey, it's mine. Athens mine.
Yeah.
Bark, 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 bark.
I mean, I feel like Micah would only be attracted to Ethan in his lich form.
He's still mine.
So that wouldn't exactly
God,
be a
Jake.
full no for.
He's mine. I may be pursuing him.
I'm sorry, I think we lost Jake. That's like a rapid chihuahua right here. I don't know where Jake went,
This is like
but
the fourth time I've been compared to Chihuahua.
You are a chihuahua.
Because you are. That was... I like how Jay's like, oh, like, he might only be into him in his lich form. And you're like, no, man!
Mine.
He's not going anywhere. He has a horrible personality. Percy's the only one that wants him.
God.
You know, it's not there for emotional availability. Micah's there for penis, and that's about it.
You can have Caspian.
You gonna objectify Pike's brother?
Yeah.
Oh damn, I got nothing to say to that.
See, Micah can objectify Caspian. Yeah, that's fine. Caspian's a little bit more emotionally tied up in someone else.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Micah, Caspian shaking hands, emotionally tied up with someone else.
Yeah.
They can bond over that. Oh, that was very good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad. I've fucking now I can start over again with doing all of my unnecessarily long notes.
I mean, you can always do, like, short notes.
See, the thing is that, like, when I give myself gaps sometimes, but when I do, I stutter a lot, the way that I was stuttering trying to describe, like, just walking up a flight of stairs. I was like, and you like, and then you, and like, I have such a bad fucking habit of, like, gapping my words, because I don't vocalize things real well.
I do too.
Mm.
So unfortunately, my notes do have to be a little bit detailed unless I'm, like, improving directly.
I see.
Man, I wanted it to be Thursday again now.
It is Thursday, didn't you know?
No,
Pumpkin,
I
let's
wanted
start the
to be
next session now.
Okay, let's start the next session now.
Okay, well, you awaken and, fucking Foxglove is eating, your breakfast, all over you. Like,
Oh boy.
literally, you have no breakfast, Percy. Foxglove has eaten it.
Smudge is bouncing on Micah's head.
Exactly.
That's the session.
Foxglove is riding, Smudge, as though he is a mighty warhorse.
Micah is used to this. He is trying so hard to stay asleep. Anyway.
I should probably bounce because it is like
Yeah.
5 a.m.
Yeah,
But
It's
go
really,
sleep.
Yeah, I think it's time.
You all need to sleep.
Mhm.
yeah. I do need to sleep.
also you.
Except the
Also
Yeah,
you.
you too.
Bite me.
Guns at everyone.
All right.
Everyone go night night.
Good night,
Yeah.
gamers.
Everyone